What is up, everyone? Okay. We today are doing a tier list. And it is on sticking points. Isn't that right, Swifty?
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
This is for everybody. Everybody needs to watch this. Stick around.
That's true. That's true. We're not only going to cover the sticking points, we'll put them in order from S to D tier. But we'll also, for most of these, we might just have a quick chat about how to get over it. Or even like which one of these are the biggest blind spots that students probably don't even realize they're doing wrong. I saw one that you wrote up, Swift, which was like connection, which is a big fucking P for me, where guys will often say, my sticking point is I don't build enough connection, which is always fucking wrong. So yeah, we'll go through some of the blind spots guys might have. How should we rank these? Are these going to be the ones we see the most? Are they going to be the ones that are the most detrimental to students? How should we rank it?
I would say it's a mix. So I think it's the most common or the biggest ones, but if you correct, you get the biggest ROI.
I like that. I like that. Okay.
Like, yeah, there are some sticking points that like every guy has, but we probably wouldn't hyper focus too much on it, or maybe we just slightly improve it and whatever, move on. But I'm thinking there's a few sticking points every guy has an issue with. And if they corrected it, I mean, just improved it a little bit. I actually have a video coming out about one particular sticking point that every guy has that if you just improve it just slightly, change your interaction immediately.
What sticking point's that? Are you going to let us know?
I can't say. I don't know. I had a student send me a message saying, holy shit, after just one call, I improved this one thing, and like his life has changed because girls are just treating him just slightly different.
Nice.
Getting
awesome,
more engaging interactions and everything. So
fuck yeah. All right. If it's is it on the list, the sticking point?
Kind of, a little bit. Okay. We can't put it on the list,
Okay.
Kind of like God sticking point video. Huh?
Sigma says, my sticking point is not getting dates. Yeah, exactly. My sticking point is game. Yeah, that's cool, man. A lot of these are going to be the reasons why you're probably not getting dates, so we'll go through that. Jack to PUA, I have a question more about your program. Would you say most guys in it are guys looking for girlfriends or guys looking to really get good at game? I mean, these are the same thing, basically. Like, if there was someone that comes to us and says, hey guys, I want to take your program, I always ask, like, what's your goal? What do you want to get out of this program? And what do you want to get out of game? Like, why do you actually want to get better? What do you want to do here? The more obvious answer that almost every guy gives is eventually at some point, I want to be in a serious relationship. Now, sometimes guys will say like an open serious relationship. Other guys will say like, no, I want something more traditional. I want to have family. I want to have kids. That's usually the most common answer. It just depends on how quickly they want to achieve that. And sometimes we get younger guys that are like, look, I'm a virgin or some shit. I just want to fuck some girls. It's like, well, what are your long-term goals? I haven't even thought that far ahead, man. I just want to like be able to go on some dates. They're cool too. So if we have a guy that says, by the end of this year, I want to get in a relationship or some shit, I think a part of that coaching is about not putting so much pressure on you in terms of the timeline, but giving you the skills and the necessary like understanding to be able to get into a healthy, happy relationship. If you guys have ever been on a date with a girl that is desperate to find like a dad for their kid or some shit, or she's just desperate to be married, you know how unattractive that fucking shit is, right? Like these girls that are like, I don't care who it is, I just want to get into a relationship. If girls witness that like neediness and that seriousness and the pressure, even if this is a girl that is like a traditional good girl on a profile saying like looking for marriage, even these girls are going to be turned off by that. Even these girls are going to be like, this guy just seems like he doesn't even like me. He just likes the idea of being with someone. Like it seems a bit desperate. So if your goal is to get into a relationship, our goal is to teach you how to have the options in which to do so and how to build up that relationship in a way that you actually get respect from this girl and you actually have it on your terms and you're able to show some leadership here. So that requires you to get good at game. So they're kind of the same thing. Love you, Drakeful. We love you. We do. What is the best place to approach a girl in a club? Do you prefer dance floor or the bar? Yes, I prefer the dance floor where it's very crammed, loud. The girls can't hear you. She's busy with her friends. They're more likely to be drunk. Yeah, I love. Fucking hate the dance floor. Listen. Dance floor game can be effective at times. Sometimes you have to do it because that's where the hot girls are. But no, if you can find like an area of the bar that is like quiet and chill. I used to love the smoking areas before everyone fucking vaped. Yeah, these areas, girls can hear you. You can actually talk to them. You can use pre-selection because you can speak to her friends. You can have other people come in. Like, it is just way more favorable. So you should learn both styles of game, but one is way more optimal than the other. Okay, let's dive into it. Whoops. There we go. Okay. So, do you want to label these, or you just want to jump straight into it?
Oh, like SD.
Yeah.
Change your life. Yeah, good, helpful. Waste of time, though.
Oh yeah, even better. Waste of time. Like small improvement or something.
Yep.
Yeah, how does that sound?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool. Let's start with monotone tonality. So like with this one, it's usually when guys, they go up to girls and there's no variation in their tone whatsoever. So they just kind of sound like they're a robot talking like this. And then the more they go on to talk like this, you just kind of don't pay attention to anything that they're saying. And it just turns into one big blur. And then like the girl is kind of bored by the end of whatever you're saying. So what do you think of this one, Swift?
I mean, you can't really get anything going when you sound like that. Like, I mean, it's hard to get a girl to stop. It's hard to get her hard to hook her, hard to like start a conversation. Like, girls will probably stick around because they think you're autistic, and they're like, I don't know, they probably worked with autistic kids at some point or something, or they have like autistic brother. So, but this is one of those things on boot camp. Like, this is like the first thing we really attack if a guy has monotone, even if they don't have monotone tonality, even if their tonality is just kind of boring. You know what I mean? It's hard to run a lot of our routines, have like different situations, like be effective. When you have monotone tonality, your tonality is just weak. It's not very expressive. So this is one of those things where, like, day one, we could really improve your tonality. And all of a sudden, you've never seen interactions like this before. The way that the girls react to you, the way that they engage. And it's so much fucking easier because a lot of guys will have this like boring tonality, monotone tonality, and they think the girl's non-compliant. The girl's just matching your fucking boring energy. And you're like, fuck, she doesn't like me. I'm not getting anything. And it just dies out. But you can literally say the same shit that you're fucking saying normally, but say it in a fucking expressive way, or maybe a little bit curious, a little bit of that. And all of a sudden, the girls, I don't know, they're energetic, they're a little bit more charismatic, and they do a lot more talking, right? They're asking you questions. They're like, oh, stop it. Oh, where are you from? All of a sudden, you're like, oh, fuck, this girl really fucking likes me. And all you didn't even change the content. You didn't change the fucking routines or anything, the lines. You just improved your tonality. That's it. So this is like easiest here.
Yeah.
Easy.
And it's so fucked. How many coaches don't fucking teach this? Dude, the one thing I hear about tonality from every coach, do you know what it is? Do you hear this as well?
Is it like either speak up or don't use seeking report tonality? Or-
Yeah, exactly. Don't use seeking report tonality. So like the only thing I ever hear any coach teach about tonality is don't end with an inflection, which is bullshit. We end with inflections all the fucking time, and it works. The only time you don't want to end with inflections if you're saying things that are like statements and you want to be more direct. I'm never going to say, my name's Marcus, as if it's a fucking question. It's going to be, I'm Marcus, right? Like, yes, don't end with inflections there. But if you're asking her, hell, wait, what do you do for work? right? Yeah, you can have an inflection. It creates curiosity. If you're like, wait, hang on, what did you just say? Right? That makes sense. You want to have a variation here. Now, again, like there are some guys that I would even argue have good tonalities, but they just don't have any variation. So some guys might actually come in and they might not be monotone. They might have like this James Bond style of suave, and they come in and like, hey girl, hey, what's your name? And it might even sound even sexual, like it was really hard to accomplish with a tonality. Some guys really struggle with it. But then they just have that the entire conversation. There's no variation, doesn't build any emotion, doesn't shift any of the dynamics. So you need to learn how to use a whole toolbox of tonality. Like, how can we create emotions through doing this? And no one fucking teaches this. So yeah, if you manage, and it's so easy. All of you guys, if I ask you how to sound curious, all you guys know how to do it, right? You already have this skill within you. If I say, hey, can you say something where you sound angry? You can do it. If I say, even like, say something where you're like a little bit scared or some shit, like you can be able to do that shit, right? Like, so you already have this inside of you. It's just a matter of like how to employ it when it comes to game.
You know,
and once you learn this,
practice?
GG. Yeah, go on.
You know how I used to practice this back in the day? I would have like tonality days, okay? Where it's like no matter who I talk to, I would see how many different emotions I can like invoke or express within one interaction, right? So it would be like, hey, you know, hey, how you doing? I'm great. It's amazing. Well, kind of, I guess, you know? And I would just do this, like, oh, what's wrong? I'm like, my cat died. I love that cat. Oh my God. You know? And I'd be like, now fuck that cat, man. The cat cost me so much money. I mean, he ate like horse meat. Like, fuck that cat. And I would just do this, man. Like doing this to women, it's like crack. Like do this. Like I'll go up to girls and I'll just do random shit. I'll just say random shit, but I'll have different tonalities, different range, and they're just like looking at it like, wow. I don't know. They're hooked. They can't walk away. It's so easy to like keep the girl in front of you.
Look at all the media girls watch. Look at how they interact with each other. They love emotion and drama. They love this up and down. If you're just a guy that is predictable and is like, I'm gonna have the same set of tonality, yeah, you're fucking yourself. So like, this is the biggest thing that guys should change. The first thing we focus on boot camp. It makes such a fucking difference. It's something that unfortunately, like every other coach is just like, don't have upward tonality. It's like, okay, thanks, bro. Like the monotone I did at the beginning didn't have any upward tonality. It also wasn't fucking great. So, okay. Next one is scared to sexualize.
I mean, fuck. I mean, I guess this has to go and change your life as well, right?
Yeah, it does. We're fucking front loading this bad boy with S tiers, okay? You guys are lucky. Usually we save these for halfway through. Yeah, scared to sexualize is going to be up there. What I notice is there are going to be like big sticking points guys have through their journey of game. So the first one's obviously going to be AA. That's going to be a big one. Then it's usually going to be around, like, as we kind of mentioned, monotone tonality. One of the next biggest ones that you're kind of going to face is as you're having an interaction with a girl, that escalation anxiety is like kind of what I refer to it as. A lot of guys are feeling with approach anxiety. That anxiety of I'm just going to play it safe. I'm too scared to get a no. So it's like, I'm just going to be treated like a friend, and that feels better to me than actually risk moving this forward at all and getting a level of success. I'll just pretend that friends is success to me right now. So yeah, scared to sexualize is another big one that guys need to get over. Sometimes there's like a lot of sexual shame there. Sometimes it's just fear of failing. But we work through a lot of those underlying mechanisms to get you to a point where, yeah, we can give you some things to transition into this easy. It doesn't feel like you're making a big move. So scared to sexualize shouldn't be you're on a date and then you tell her you're going to fuck her in the ass. Like, we have a lot of ways to slowly get to that point where you can tell her I'm going to fuck you in the ass. So yeah, this is a big one.
And you can't have monotone tonality while sexualizing. Right? Like, exactly. you have to, you have that lower tone. But yeah, immature sex talk.
Immature sex talk.
Yeah, so this is, man, we've had students that were inexperienced, and we could teach them, maybe not like talk like a complete fucking expert, in a few days, but guys get away with it, like sexualizing and talking about sex. But I don't know, it's just hard to have sexual authority and convey your sexual value when the girl goes home in a second. did you say PP in your JJ?
Yeah.
Potty or some shit, like vagina, and you're like giggling. Yeah, I mean, you kind of give away your inexperience when you sound like a 5-year-old when talking about sex. So that it's kind of hard to really sexualize. But I think it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
And it's necessary.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I didn't put this S. I don't think everyone has this, whereas I think like almost everyone has these two that we face. Yeah, immature sex talk. Yeah, I agree. Like the PP talk, the treating sex like it is something. I talk about guys like hiding their dick, right? So like girls might even bring up sex talk themselves and like they don't want to talk about it, or they act like it's a big deal themselves. In my mind, this is still immature sex talk. So yeah, anytime you do this, as Swift said, the girl can't take you seriously. Luckily for guys, we just have a lot of underlying knowledge to make them more comfortable around sex, and then also some routines to use, so it won't sound immature. So it's kind of an easy fix here. But yeah, I'll put that as a big ROI if you do have this. Interview mode.
Yeah, very common. Super fucking common.
Yeah, these are the guys that basically this ties actually very interestingly into monotone tonality, because again, you could just ask questions, but if you have a lot of emotion behind it, wait, hang on, I need to know something. Then all of a sudden, it doesn't feel like you're just asking questions for the sake of it, because that's what interview mode is, right? A part of it is you're just asking questions, but the big part is you're asking questions just for the sake of asking questions. So if I meet someone in a lift and I'm like, oh, or at work, and I'm like, so how was your weekend? Yeah, it was good. I spent time with the kids. Like, how was yours? Yeah, it was all right. So you got any plans for this week? Like, all this is like interview mode-ish. It doesn't sound like you give a fuck. Whereas if you say to the girl you're speaking to, hell, wait. Okay, now I have to know. All right. What do you do for work? I'm so interested. Like, now that doesn't feel like an interview question. The other thing you want to do is actually follow up, respond to this, ask her follow-up questions, and then bait it back to you. She needs to be asking you questions. If you ask her a question, she answers it. You ask her another question, she answers. You ask her another question, she answers. Bro, no girl is going to stay in that conversation at all. She knows nothing fucking about you, and all she's done is talk. So you need to train her and teach her, I'm going to leave a gap, and I'm going to build some tension here. That's your turn to ask a question back. And if she doesn't, you can bait, right? That's very different to what I do for work. She can ask you. This is also super common.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we can't put everything in change your life. Maybe we put it in A.
Nah. Yep. And we can move these as well. Side question. I joined the mastermind a week for... Yeah, so side question, I joined the mastermind, but why do I have to wait a week for lesson 5 of the mini course? We like to set an open loop, okay? We build some curiosity, all right? We don't want you to be feeling like we have a monotone tonality in terms of our courses. No, I mean, you get 2-week free trial. So you work your way through half of the mini course, and then, so that's like approach anxiety, opening, DHVing, I think even potentially sexualizing. So then the whole idea is that you actually implement those things. So we have a 90-day fucking exercises or something to work on. So you go out and practice those opens, join the call, and then we'll talk about your opens. You can bring some infield, we'll break that down, and then you work on the next section. So that's why we do it that way. Approach anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be S, right? Like,
everything making a change your life in every fucking sticking point. Yeah, we might move these around, but I think we're just front loaded with all the big ones. So yeah, approach anxiety. Obviously, if you're not approaching anyone, you're struggling. We did a whole tier list on approach anxiety, so we're not going to cover it here. Someone said, answer to all, do the opposite. Yeah, 100%. Answer to all, do the opposite. Sometimes it's not easy to know how to do the opposite. So like female understanding, a lack of that, sure. Understand women better, but like, how do you do that? It might not be so clear. So yeah, kind of true. Just fix all your sticking points will be our answer, but we'll try to tell you how to do it. Low self-worth. What do you reckon, Swift?
Ooh. Oh man, I mean, we can't put everything in a change your life. I mean,
Teal-is just S.
I mean, it's man. it's a struggle with guys with very, very low self-worth. It's like hard to convince them to go and speak a particular way, speak with authority, speak with confidence, or say certain things framed in a certain way because they don't truly believe it, or they think the girl's gonna like lash out and be like, that's not the real you. You're a piece of shit, you know. Yeah, man. There's it's hard to do a lot of things when you have very low self-worth, right?
Yeah, I am actually going to put this in S, and I know this looks like all these will be in S tier. We might shift them later, but I do think this is massive, right? Like, you can get away with acting and pretending 100%. Like, we could teach you the skills to feel like absolute fucking worthless shit, and you can still pull. So maybe we could argue that it shouldn't be an S tier, but like, we could teach you to do that. But the problem is, like, why? Right? The whole reason you're getting to game is to have like the freedom of your dating life, to feel happy, to be with someone that actually cares about you and likes you. Sure, I mean, just go pay a prostitute at that point, right? Like, that'd be way easier than learning game. So I think low self-worth is like, incredibly important. It's something that needs to be worked on at a fundamental level, and it's worked on at every stage. So like, approach anxiety is really obviously clearly linked to low self-worth, but even like scared to sexualize, like, why? Do you have like certain shame around that? So we need to solve that. Monotone tonality. Are you afraid to make noise? Are you afraid to be center of attention? Are you afraid to maybe upset the girl with, you know, maybe a disappointed tonality that you might use? So low self-worth is basically a sticking point that might cover like every single one of these or be an element of all of them. So yeah, I honestly, I think this will change your life. And I think for a lot of guys, that's why they get into game.
I look at it at the other end. You know, what does like really high self-worth looks like? And I don't know, like the way that you talk, the way that you frame things, the way that you look at a girl or talk to a hot girl, I mean, it displays a whole lot of value and sparks a lot of attraction. Like I you know, my perceived self-worth is probably much higher than it really is. You know what I mean? I'm probably a little bit delusional in that regard. But sometimes I kind of catch myself speaking in a way where I am maybe a little bit delusional, but I look at the girl's reaction to that. They love it. I don't know. They just fucking love it. Some may kind of go, okay, like some delusions of grandeur here. You know what I mean? But I don't 100%. Know. They just like it. They're attracted to it. They'd rather have that than a guy that has low self-worth who's on the fence.
Of course.
50, right?
Yeah, like, how is a girl meant to like you if you don't even like you, right? Like, there's a really tough thing to ask from a romantic partner. So, for sure. These are all beginner sticking points. Not really. The ones so far, like, dude, even to be honest, there are super advanced guys with approach anxiety. There are guys that are of moderate skill level that still find it hard to sexualize. I agree interview mode is a beginner one though, but yeah, there'll be a mix. These so far are, I guess, more on the beginner side. Why not pay? You can't buy genuine desire. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why you wouldn't pay. Either looks, money, or status, complete detachment, and treat yourself as a simulacrum. Group sets is being my biggest sticking point, working on it. Cool. All right. Pessimistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like this low self-worth a little bit. I think you question things a little bit too much, especially if we're giving you advice. It's gonna be hard for you to actually experiment a little bit and implement some of the advice or some new things. If you're optimistic, you're going to see, okay, this doesn't work, or you're going to find out a lot of things actually work out. They work very well. So a little bit of optimism is very important. Like, sometimes I could tell when a student is going to do very well compared to other students during the boot camp on day one. The intros, what am I really looking at? And I kind of like realized, because we guess, we kind of like say, all right, who do we think is going to do really well in boot camp?
Who's going to do well? Yeah.
And I realized that I'm really looking at like positivity and optimism. That's like the main ones. Guys pessimistic, a little bit negative, I'm like, this is going to be a struggle. It's going to take a long time for him to kind of get out of that. Guy is super positive, optimistic, maybe has less experience, but that guy, I'm like, all right, this is the guy that's probably by the end of the boot camp going to make the biggest changes. So it's super crucial.
Yeah, 100%. I've put this helpful because I think most guys, at least that we face, are usually optimistic. I would say like this usually comes from like this planned helplessness where it's a coping strategy that someone who has been disappointed a lot in their life has basically said, okay, every time I look forward to something or think something's going to work, it doesn't. And I just feel like absolute shit. So to avoid that feeling of disappointment, I'm just going to assume everything's crap. So like I'm about to go on this date. Instead of thinking this is a girl of my dreams, is going to be amazing, blah, 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 and it's not, let's just assume this is going to be fucking awful. She hates my guts. She's probably catfishing me. She's just here for a free dinner. And then you go on the date and it doesn't work out and you're like, yep, see, like no disappointment there whatsoever. The problem with that is it's a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. If you go on the date thinking this girl is not going to like you, and then you have monotone tonality, you're too scared to sexualize, you go into interview mode, then of course that's what's going to happen, right? She's going to treat you that way. So yeah, I think a big part of this is understanding that I'm using this as a coping strategy. And sure, some area of my life, it might be helpful. Like if you think you're going to be an NBA player and you're 45 years old and you never played basketball, it might be nice to have a decent dose of pessimisticness there to be like, I'm probably never going to make the NBA. But when it comes to like dating and yeah, you want to try find the realistic point and then add a little bit of optimism to that. Right? So don't go on a date thinking this girl's going to be my wife, but maybe go on the date thinking, yeah, this girl's into me and I hope it goes well. So yeah, this is definitely something that's helpful to fix. It's just, I don't think many guys we face tend to have too much pessimism. So I'll put that in B.
Yep, perfect.
Low volume when guys just don't speak very loud.
Excuse me. I gotta stop for a second.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. She didn't. She didn't stop. How do I make people stop? They just. Me. Oh my god! No one pays attention to me. Like they just.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Maybe they just don't like me.
Mark, your opener didn't work. It's not a good opener.
Yeah. That's why it's the opener that was the problem. It wasn't that she didn't fucking hear you at all. Yeah, that's why I need something different to say.
I heard myself.
Yeah.
I heard myself,
Okay.
So.
All right. That's fair. Yeah. Speak fucking loud. I mean, this is. I think I have a video on YouTube here. It's like a half an hour long video with a vocal coach. I got to a point like a girl I was saying, she's a singer. And she does like vocal training. And I was like, all right, let's get you on with some titties. And maybe the guys will decide to speak a bit louder if you tell them to. This is like, it's so important. If you're not speaking loud, nothing else matters. And similar to tonality, sometimes I'll prove this to students. I'm like, you can try cope and say, oh, but you're good looking, or, oh, but like whatever. I will go up and I will say my perfect fucking opener. And I will say it softly in a bad tonality. Every girl will reject, every fucking girl. Like there might be the occasional one where it screws up my presentation and the girl's like, what did you say? And she stands there for a while until she gets like annoyed and leaves. But like, it's really hard to stop anyone. It's really hard to get anyone's attention, especially night game. There's too much going on. And then I will go up and I'll be like, even give me a shit opener. I don't care. Give me like something embarrassing to fucking say. I'll go up and say it loud with confidence. I'll reject it with good tonality and you get a good response. So like if you speak soft, it's saying to the girl once again that you have low self-worth, that you're not very confident, you're very introverted, you're not very all these things are very negative characteristic traits in terms of attraction. So I would say like that's I want to put it ST, but I feel like everything's going to be an S, so I put it an A.
I feel like there's, crazy resistance from guys to speak up louder. You know what I mean? Like the amount of times you send a guy in, like, hey, just speak up louder. And, like 10 interactions later, he's still at the same volume. There's a lot of resistance. I don't know. It could be approach anxiety. It could be people around. Low self-worth,
I feel like you're right. It's a big one of like people judging. I think that's something we typically work on here. And then the other thing is they also, how do I say this? You're calibrated to your own voice. So you don't know how other people hear you. You just know how you sound. But the thing is, it's wrong. If you ever listen to yourself play back an audio and you feel so fucking cringe, it's because it's miscalibrated. You actually don't know how you sound. And so a lot of guys will speak to girls. We'll get recordings. We'll take that first day where we do a diagnostic, and then we show them, and the guys are like, dude, I sound so soft. And I'm like, yes, that's how you usually sound. It's like, fuck, I didn't realize. So like for a while, you're going to have to speak at a level where your mind is telling you you're too loud, right? That will happen. It's like, you're too loud, and you just need to trust that it's not, and you can record it, or you can just look at the girl's reaction. So yeah, a big part of it is just getting over this inner voice that is going to tell you you're too loud, because you have to just recalibrate it a little bit. I thought volume here is referring to quantity of sets. No, sorry. Low volume is in just how loud you're speaking. Like amount of sets would be approach anxiety. I'm not sure if we have a separate one for like the amount of effort guys are putting in, but low volume sets would be more around approach anxiety. But that would be a sticking point for sure. Too nice.
Man, it's kind of hard to fuck. I don't know. I don't want to say it changed your life, again, but like, I mean, you don't want to be a nice guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're too nice, the girl will automatically put you in the category. So, like, you have like a 30-second, 1-minute interaction. She puts you in the nice category. Man, there's a lot of bad traits in there and unattractive dudes that she just put you in the. You know what I mean? That's not a very good assumption. Like, you want to go up and speak loud with charisma. You know what a lot of girls will say when you do that? Are you rich? Like, I don't know. I've gotten this like, oh, you're a celebrity, you're rich or something. I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck did you come to that conclusion in like 30 seconds of me just speaking up and having a little bit of charisma? So girls will put you in this category, DHVs you don't have to really DHV so much. So I think this is one of those things where you want to separate yourself and avoid being put in that category with all the other negatives and unattractive traits. So, man, this is.
100%.
I noticed. Like when I was in my journey back in the day, a long time ago, one of the things I changed was being too nice, and I wasn't a nice guy, but I thought I was too nice because I saw the guys who were really successful with women, the drug dealers, criminals, like fucking dickheads. So I'm like, all right, fuck these bitches, So I was just being a little bit mean, or pretty fucking mean, and it just worked out so much better. I was so uncalibrated. I don't know, it was like too much hatred there, but I was fucking. I was like, oh shit, okay. Just don't be too, maybe I gotta like calibrate the meanness, but you cannot be too nice. Like that will kill all chances. You could be a fucking dickhead and have a chance.
Yeah, a really great book is No Mr. Nice Guy by, I think it's Green or whatever. It's really good. He goes into a lot of the nuances here because, yeah, I think sometimes when guys hear this, they do take it to those extremes. And I think it's like, it's okay to be nice, just not the nice guy, right? Because the nice guy is the guy sitting here thinking, okay, I want to fuck this girl. So how am I going to do it? How about if I try to put on a lot of these like nice features? I'm going to talk about my niece. I'm going to go buy her a drink. I'm going to offer to drive her home. I'm going to listen to all her problems. And that's how I'll fuck her. And obviously like it doesn't work. So if you're trying to use nice as a way to fuck, like just stop doing that. It's never going to fucking work. Now there's other guys that have learned just to be a bit more pleasant and maybe take too much shit from people around them. And I think this will actually help you, not just with women, but in your entire life. If you feel that you're just being put in situations where people don't treat you with respect a lot of the time, it's because of this. So 100%, if you can learn to be a little bit more assertive, stand up for yourself, take up space in this world, have a level of entitlement, and again, do it in a nice, respectful way, you're going to get so much more pussy, and people around you, work colleagues, friends, will actually treat you with so much more fucking respect. So I would say, man, I feel like we're just front loading this, but I would say like that's a big ROI.
And what would you say is, like, you have a nice guy out there, and girls are like, oh, they do the all thing. Oh, thank you. Oh, fucking hate that. Oh,
yeah, that's the worst.
Like, what's one thing they could do? What do you think? Like, yes, there's all kinds of things, but like one thing that they could start to do to kind of move away from that nice guy persona.
I think the biggest thing and easiest thing is be just disagreeable. very early on in the interaction, just find something to disagree on, because what nice guys will do is they'll try to people please and just agree with everything, and just your opinion becomes theirs. They become enmeshed, and it's like, yes, 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 I agree. And I would just manufacture, like at the beginning of the set, something where I can show them that's not me. So you ask them where they're from and they say, I'm from Miami. You just disagree. Right. And again, it can be playful. You don't have to be, that's not authentic. I didn't actually have some fucking fun. Right. She says, I'm from Miami. You smile and say, there's no fucking way you're from Miami. Mm-hmm. She's like, no, I am. I'm like, no, you're not. She's like, well, okay, I wasn't born there. I was born in Mexico, but then like I came there when I was like 5 years old or something. You're like, that makes more sense, blah, blah. But immediately the girl gets the impression that, yeah, he's not afraid to almost like put me in my place. He's not afraid to disagree with me. He's not afraid to have that tension, which nice guys are scared of. They don't want any conflict. They don't want any, they'll just be like, oh, Miami, that's so nice. It must be really warm there and lovely. And it must be really blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah. What do you think, Swifty?
For me, it was just saying what's on my mind. You know what I mean? Like just being honest and genuine. And I realized that you're naturally, you should be disagreeing with a lot of shit that women are saying. You know what I mean? You might be a woman if you're agreeing with everything. Like, not, you know what I mean? You might be lying to yourself. But like, if you just like really think about like, all right, what do I think about that? What's my opinion on this? Like, how do I feel? And you just express that as openly and honestly as possible. You're going to naturally disagree sometimes or very often. And I think that's a nice way to do it because you feel like you're more free. You're not hiding who you are, and you can be more of your genuine self, and you can kind of calibrate because obviously like we had one autistic student and he was like very honest and like straightforward, like a lot of autistic students, you know what I mean? And I'm like, man, this is gonna be rough. This guy, he's autistic, you know, he's on the spectrum. And he was just like very brutally honest and just spoke his mind. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's getting he got like 3 dates in a row from Day Game.
And it was so fun because I think I know who you're talking about. And he's like an Asian guy. And you would think like, oh, this guy's so pleasant and so nice. And then he just talked to the girls. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't think you should blah, blah, blah. It's like what? It's like, holy fuck. And it works. Yeah, this guy like
yeah, I have to, but I have to do X, Y, and Z. I can't go. That's not true, actually. You can make that happen.
You can.
The restaurant's right here, and we can go there. It's like 3 minutes, so that's actually not true. You can do that. And the girl's like, they giggle, and they're like, okay. It's like, he pulls from there.
He would like logic his way through objections in the funniest way, right? Like, yeah, I have to get up for work in the morning. Well, that doesn't matter. You can still. It works.
It works. Trust me. Okay. Like, it just worked.
Yeah, it did. It did. So yeah, and that was it. Just I guess. Yeah, I would tend on the side of lying more in the beginning, but yeah, you could just be honest as long as it's some disagreeableness there. All right. We got a few more comments. Is it a good sign if you don't ever get the friend zone treatment as a beginner? Yes. Sometimes that polarity is way better. Like there are students that get compliance early on, but it's all friend zone shit. So like we have students that like they first come to us and like they'll never get rejected. They'll go in, hey guys, hey, what's happening here? Like, oh yeah, so do you get? And girls are just like, oh yeah, kind of friend. And then after a couple of weeks, anyway, it was really nice to meet you. Bye. Yep. And then kind of turn around and yeah, there's no real big rejection that ever happens. But that's a problem because you are just getting treated. Like, I feel like an improvement there is actually having a girl telling you like, fuck off, right? Is an extreme example, but like that's a sign of respect. If a girl knows you can fucking handle it, and if a girl's like, actually, no, we're with our friends, because if you start getting that, then you're going to start getting the girls that are like, hello, like, yeah, come chat to, oh, damn, who's this guy? So sometimes moving from the friend zone to the polarity is actually an improvement. So yeah, 100%, that's a good thing. Red Pill Tomasi goes on about pre-selection of DHV as S tier. Is it a sticking point, or is it, what do you mean by that? I just, Rollo Tomasi is like an old married man that has slept with like 10 girls in his life. I don't even know if it's 10 girls, under 10 girls in his life, who is just on about old school red pill women suck shit. I don't know. It's really fucking strange. I would agree that pre-selection and DHV like matter quite a lot. But yeah, like I did a review once ages ago, reading a bunch of his shit. It's just, yeah, I would not be listening to that man. Cool, interesting content is you guys seem pretty experienced with the dating thing. Yeah, it's been our life for a while now. Relative mastery is relative mastery is a beat 'em out with no game. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. All right, closed body language.
Man, we can't. Well, this is not change your life. I would say big ROI for sure. Because look, what's the opposite of closed body language? Taking up space. You know what I mean? You take up space. By the way, if you have open body language, you're probably going to speak up a little bit. You're going to speak a little bit louder. You're going to be a little bit more charismatic. And women are just drawn to that. It displays a lot of attractive traits. Makes women very curious and interested if you're in a night game situation. One of the things that I would do is, we are loud as fuck when we go to night game. Sometimes
we are obnoxiously.
Interacting, but we're taking up space. We're being fucking loud. Like, okay. Boom, boom, boom. Very, very open body language. And you'll see women gravitate to our group, get closer and closer and closer and open us. They'll start talking to us. Or we could open them. They're giving us the eye. But I don't know, what are the girls thinking? Like, fuck, these guys are confident. You know what I mean? There's a lot of positive traits that come with having very open body language. And look, you have closed body language. I don't know. Girls may not notice you so much. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to convey insecurity, low self-worth, maybe anxiety. It's not good.
Yeah, I think there's levels to this where, from a beginner point of view, you want to make sure that, your body language is open. Sometimes I'll just teach guys to just ground their feet into the ground, take up a bit of a wider stance, have their hands not tucked in their pockets like this, but open it up, start to articulate with their hands a little bit. But then you can get to a more dynamic space, as Swift was talking about, where now you're moving in and out, you're pointing at the girl, you're like, no fucking way, you pull back, you're like, whatever, you bring the other girls in, you're moving around, you're loud. Now, that's a whole new level. So, depending where you guys are at, if you find yourself, you can just get your friend to record you for 10 seconds in set. If you find yourself with your hands in your pocket, arms down, you're not moving at all, then my next step would be, I teach students to be more Italian, use your hands a little bit more. And then if you're already at that stage, the advanced part is being more dynamic. And this is a great way to test too, because you can kind of move and be like, what did you say? And see how the girl reacts to this distance, right? And then you can kind of pull back. So you can start building these emotions, this in and out, this emotional roller coaster with your body language. That's, not even thinking about right now tonality and what you're actually saying. So again, another really great tool and different levels to that. So 100% big ROI.
And look, if you force yourself to have open body language, you're going to have better subcoms. You're going to sound better. You're going to be a little bit more confident. I think it's very difficult. If I'm sitting here going, all right, I'm going to talk to this girl, but I'm going to only have closed body language. I think it's going to be very difficult to have charisma, be assertive. I think it's very difficult.
Yeah, dude. There was a couple of studies on this where they looked at body language and what it did to their cortisol levels and things like that. Yeah, so 100%. Your psychology can follow your physiology if you're taking up a bit more space. So
I saw 15 years ago. I saw a study where it's when a man, man spreads, they call it now. Spreads his legs out like this. It does this and this. I'm like, I'm going to try this on my game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, poor eye contact. It's self-explanatory. Guys that look down too often, look to the side, don't hold it. It breaks so much tension. You can build a lot of sexual tension just by holding eye contact. I'm gonna put. It's so fun later. I'll put it helpful. I don't know. Are you happy with helpful?
I mean, I
know you'd put this.
This is a big ROI.
Yeah. That's all right. Fuck it. We'll front load it. Doesn't matter.
I have personal experience with this. Experience. There was a period of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, where my T dropped down. I mean, it tanked like that overnight. And the one thing I noticed was my eye contact went away. I could not make or maintain eye contact, and it was a struggle to like hook girls to move interactions forward. So yeah, I could see like if you have poor eye contact, it's an uphill battle to make anything happen.
And all of these are things you can practice, by the way, outside of game. Like these are pretty much everything on this list, except maybe like immature sex talk and stuff. Like these should be things you just practice with everyone, right? Like you're talking to your colleague at work, just make sure you're holding eye contact. Now you don't have to be creepy about it, but like make sure you're not avoiding eye contact or you're doing it because you're feeling a little bit too tense. Like open body language. Yeah. Man spread a little bit more, right? Like take up a bit more space. Dominic said, will you guys talk about living situation and logistics? Yeah, we got like 50 sticking points here. So if at the end we've missed any, just let us know and we'll rank it for you. Mindset should be up there too. Yeah, once again, a lot of those will be there. So if they're not, just let us know towards the end and we'll go through it. Female understanding.
S-tier.
I'm just throwing that straight in S tier. We're not fucking around with that one. Holy fuck. In terms of what is the most attractive thing that is going to get you laid, and outside of being a celebrity or something, right? It's going to be female understanding. It's going to be understanding on a deep sexual level. This in combination with the ability to sexualize is just number one across the board in almost any tier list we're going to have this thing on. So yes, S tier.
And also, the more you understand women, the less you hate them, or the less you're bothered by women. Like the less emotionally reactive you are to anything they see or do. There's less confusion, and when there's a lot of confusion, you don't understand why they're doing what they're doing or what they're thinking. You're going to put a lot of negative reasons to a lot of the things they say or do. Right. But if you have a much, much clearer, better understanding of how they operate and how they think and how they feel, it's not a big deal. It really the stress kind of goes away and you're like, no, I understand why you're doing this. But also because I understand, I can figure out a way to navigate this or to, overcome whatever it is that you're giving me. And sometimes this is what I notice. There are a lot of issues guys have in like relationships, let's say, or even just with women in general, where it's a big deal. It's emotional. It's heated. Man, like it's not good. It could linger on for a 3-hour fight. It could go on for weeks and months. And I'm like, I don't have this because I understand at the very beginning why this particular situation came up. You know what I mean? And I can literally on the spot handle that situation. So it's never a thing. It's never a deal. And it doesn't go anywhere. So like, man, there's a lot of issues, a lot of situations I could have like with my main girl that just never comes up because I understand where she's coming from and how to navigate them.
Yeah, the analogy I think of here is like as a kid, I think things sometimes can be so confusing. And like if I look at my nieces or some shit, like kids will tantrum and get upset. It's because they don't understand what's happening in the world right now. Like even something simple as like the weather. Like if an event gets canceled because it was raining, like as a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old or even older, like something you just don't understand, and it's stressful and it's annoying and
a grown female.
Whereas like as an adult, if you're like, oh yeah, it's raining tomorrow, I know that's happening. I understand why. Cool. I just accept that. I'm going to bring like a fucking umbrella to whatever I'm doing. Like it makes it so much easier to be okay with things. And that's why sometimes you see these red pill guys, they get hurt once, they don't understand why. And so their solution now is to just hate all women and basically do the pessimistic thing, right? Like if I have huge negative expectations, I can never be disappointed. So every girl is going to cheat on me. Every girl sucks. Every girl is the worst. So when that girl does cheat on me, like at least I expected it. At least I knew it was coming. Have understanding. You'll be a lot happier in life.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, go on.
No, I was going to say, if you can display this throughout your relationship or even in an interaction, man, women will look at you so different. There's a different look in their eyes when they make eye contact. They look at you like a god, a king, when you have like elite level female understanding. And I don't mean like you watch Rollo Tomasi and he's like,
that is the opposite of female fucking understanding. Holy shit.
Because I memorized shit that Rollo. I'm talking about real life experience and trying to understand your girls in general, Like the women that you're interacting with and have relationships with, that's different. That's real, genuine understanding.
Yeah. So we have content, obviously, that'll take you through like a lot of the theory. But then, as Swiss said, a lot of this is going to be experiential. And the best way to do it is like guys that bring us examples of what happened on the date, or here's some infield, and we can walk them through and be like, this is what she was thinking and feeling at this time. This is why she responded in this way. And this is what you could have done. And with that experience and that feedback, you start to just get, as Swift said, a huge understanding. We also have like feedback routines is what I call them, where like, if you even want to get feedback off the girl, there's a way to do it in a way that actually gets her fucking honest answers instead of this bullshit girl cope. I just want a nice guy shit that we know isn't true. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, this is a huge thing we focus on.
I had a student that lived next door to me, and I went from like cold approach to like rotation girl to like relationship to like wife, and he lived next door, and he would just like in the middle of like a situation or something, he would just come on. He's like, "What does she mean by this? Like,
yeah, what's happening?
Like, what's happening here? Like, I told her, hold on, I'll be right back. You know, like what is she trying to communicate? And it's like, man." He never had a better, more healthy relationship because he started to understand every aspect of what a woman was fucking doing. And now he's like, about to get married to this girl, and he has like the perfect dynamic set up. It's big.
I already know the ending sticking point, not joining the OSP mark. We don't have that on the list. That's my bad. Shit. Okay, we'll do a token. Didn't join the mastermind is the biggest sticking point, but we don't actually have a tile for that. But thanks for reminding us, my man. Bad hygiene. Do you know who I'm thinking of?
Yes. Yep.
So you can get away with this. You can get away with this, but it's so easy to fix. Don't be the guy that says like, okay, I'm gonna smell a little bit, and I'm gonna have like fucking bad breath or some shit, and I'm gonna pull anyway. Okay, so I would say like most guys have good hygiene, but if you don't, it's going to be a big ROI, but most guys don't. So like, yeah, obviously, like just make sure you smell nice, make sure your breath smells nice, make sure your room is clean and tidy, because like that will ruin some of your pulls and closes. And like there's some students I have that have bad breath, and it's like when I'm debriefing with you, like I'm like pulling away and don't want to be around you. That will ruin every one of your sets. As soon as that happens, I always have gum on me and shit. I'm like, okay, your breath stinks. You need to have this gum, and we need to sort out your bad breath because that's going to fuck every one of your sets. Fortunately, it doesn't happen too often, so I'll put it in helpful. But if this is a problem for you, then yeah, fix it.
And also, I don't know, you just get more compliance after a fresh cut, will fade, will line up and everything. I don't know. Your compliance just goes through the roof like for 2 days after a fresh cut. So like if you're not keeping up with their hygiene, man, you're missing out on a lot of compliance. But also, guys, this is for my Indian guys. Okay, I'm half Indian. Throwing this out there. If you want white girls, you can't smell like curry. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know why I have to keep telling Indian guys this. You cannot smell like curry. Girls do not like the smell of curry through your pores, all over your face and your mouth. If you have trouble getting K closes, it's because you smell like curry. This is an easy fix. I know, mama, your mama's going to be angry that you're not coming home for that Indian food. This is an actual sticking point with a lot of students. I know she's going to be angry about that, and she's going to nag you about that. But if you want that hot blonde, smell less like curry. I guarantee. You just cut the curry out, all of a sudden your compliance with white girls goes up. Okay, so it's up to you. Curry, hot white pussy is up to you.
I want a compilation of Swiss Indian advice from being. I thought you were quarter Indian. I didn't know you were half, but that's cool. We have a donor here. $10. Thank you, my man. Thanks for the info, guys. Julian said that after getting rejected, you laugh and lean into the rejection and move on. Your thoughts on things to do for it to not affect you and not get into your head. Yeah, cool. So, I mean, that's like one strategy this is like the physiology thing, right? Taking up space, like a girl rejects you, try to have your instant response of just like laugh and like move into it. That can help for a lot of guys. So yeah, sure, you get rejected, laugh and smile. Hey, thanks, have a good night, blah, blah. But the problem is, I'd say with like 95% of guys, if not more, if that's all you do, it won't work. That needs to be like one tool in your tool belt of something you can try to do, because most guys, they might be like, ha ha ha, and then they walk away like that fucking bitch, oh my God. Or they'll walk away, I suck, I'm the worst, I'm the blah, blah. So I think there needs to be a lot more internal work that goes into your self-worth and rejection. We've spoken about it a little bit on the AA thing. So like figuring out what these thoughts have come up with, dealing with the inner critic, having ways to reground yourself, like narratization therapy and things like this. So like, there's a lot of strategies. This is one. And if you just rely on this, I don't think it will work. I don't think you'll even believe it or feel good. You'll do this little thing and then you'll walk away feeling like shit. So, I mean, yeah, try it out. It just needs to be a part of more skills. Don't be the Indian at the club, smell good. I'm thinking that I should dumb things down, Forrest and Fonzie style. I don't know what you mean by that. Do a men's hygiene video. I know it's common sense, but recommend a product.
Retard mask.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, but I mean, you could try it out, I guess. Okay. Swift, you'd be good at this. Swift, by the way, I know you guys can't smell him through the video, okay? This is the best smelling man you'll ever meet in your entire life. So I think you'd be good at a men's hygiene video.
One of the biggest compliments I get from women, like, you're a big guy. I thought you smell pretty bad, but you know,
less smelling curry. You know? And word, you ain't half Indian. Yeah, Swift's a lie. I think he's quarter Indian, but he says half. I don't know why.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm half Indian.
Yeah. He identifies as half Indian. Drinks to not let it affect you. Man up, grow some balls and stop being a bitch. Sure. But once again, like, this might help a little bit, or for some guys, but if you have low self-worth and then you just tell yourself like, man the fuck up, then that's not going to fix your self-worth at all. And it's not going to help you deal with the rejection. So it might help you take action to eventually get to that point. So I think that's good. I think it's okay to be like, look, I feel a bit sure right now. I don't think I'm worthy right now, but what am I going to fucking do about that? Well, I'm not going to sit at home. I'm going to go out and fucking approach. And then maybe you get some good reactions and then you start feeling a little bit more positive. So like, you can definitely take like an action focused, like strategy around this, where it's like, yes, my emotions feel like shit. That's cool. But what action do I want to take in life? I think that's really cool. That can be one of your strategies. The cologne tier list. Yeah, Swift has to do that. I'm not a big cologne understanding of all the different ones type of guy. So maybe Swift can do that. Isn't it? It's what you say. Sorry, it's not what you say. It's how you say it. An oversimplification. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. It seems obvious what you say matters too. Yeah, of course. These things both matter. I think it's stupid when people just say it doesn't matter what you say or it doesn't matter how you say either of these two. Both matter. I would say how you're saying it matters more. But yeah, I mean, optimize for both of these things. Like we went through opener tier list, for example. We didn't just do an opener tier list of just say it well. Like there was content was basically what we were judging these things on most of the time. But yeah, like optimize both things. These streams have been awesome. Cheers, my man. It's a good mindset, but women talk. They have private social media sites where they gossip about the local guys. I don't want, we're not going to spend a lot of time on that comment.
I've been on those sites, by the way.
Yeah.
I've been on those sites. And it did not hurt me at all, actually.
Yeah.
It might have helped. But I guess it depends. Like, I don't know, like Vikram smells like fucking curry and he shit all over my floor. So like, that's probably not good. You know, they're talking about you like that. And there's like a photo or like a CCTV camera, you know, in the room of you taking a shit on the floor.
Yeah. I feel like for almost all men, this doesn't fucking matter. Either you're a fuckboy and you put on these sites saying, oh my God, he dated me and didn't message me ever again or something, right? And girls are probably not going to ever give a fuck or be slightly attracted to it. Like if you are actually like socially inept and you're doing some weird shit and you're like following girls around, then yeah, like obviously you need coaching and you need some help about how to be more calibrated 100%. But for almost like 99% of guys, even if you're asking this question, it probably means you're socially calibrated. If you're the type of guy that's like questioning, like, hang on, should I do this thing? You're probably never going to do anything bad. It's the guys that have absolutely zero AA ever, and they don't know, like, they walk into a club and just start doing crab dances or something, and then like go follow girls around, and they're like, what's wrong? If you're like that socially inept, which is probably like 0.1% of guys, then yeah, you should be worried. But otherwise, these private things where girls gossip, it usually like doesn't matter at all. It makes absolutely no consequence. Nothing comes out of it. It's so fucking rare for it even to happen. If you want to live your life like very worried about that, you can, but it just means like you'll never have any success ever. Okay, I'm going to stop reading these. Otherwise, I'm never going to get fucking through this. All right, poor fashion.
I mean, we could finally put something below A.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Guys, I mean, I don't know if you've seen Mark's fashion. Do you know what he's night gained in? Like, he looks like what, you know, the crocodile hunter Steve Irwin. He goes out looking like fucking Steve Irwin.
Crikey.
You remember the little fucking shorts? Like you wear the base shorts. You look like you're on safari or something. Like he literally looks like, you know, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter.
That's fucked up. Okay.
An old shirt that's like 10 years old. It's got like holes in it. He's pulled in absolute shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, like what do I have? I have like one shirt. I have like 20 of these, but we focus more on the archetype we want to portray.
Yeah.
So we got the All Saints, all black. It's a little bit more fuckboyish. So I think that's important, is to dress like the archetype you want to be perceived as. But I don't know if like you're like a super, super well-dressed guy, like that's going to get you laid immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like having amazing fashion can almost hurt you, like at the extreme. Like there's a guy that I know who is a like fashion designer or something. And all the shit he wears, it actually makes him look very feminine. And I'm sure like it's in fashion, that's his job, but it just looks a little bit feminine. And it does make him look, it makes him look like a male fashion designer, right? Like it's probably not the most attractive thing in the world. So I think being well dressed in a way that fits your archetype and fits your body type is the most important thing. So if, as Swift said, if you're going the street look and fuckboy look, then go that. If you're going the older gentleman, I have a lot of money and I'm a daddy, and you're going that angle, then you're not going to look good in like the things I wear. That in that case, yeah, you probably do want an expensive, well-fitting suit, for example. So like you need to have the fashion around like the type of guy you are. But these are small improvements.
I don't want to say his name, but he was on boot camp, older gentleman, 50, short, chubby guy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like never pulled anything ever. Like he's never pulled anything. And we did 1-on-1. Okay. And the number one thing I said is like, just go to All Saints, get a couple All Saints. This is going to help. You know, you can't wear this, not a big deal. The first night of coaching, his first approach, hot Ukrainian. Okay. He pulls. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. You know what she said to him? The first thing he said to him, I love your outfits. I love your fashion. And then afterward, why did you want to talk to me and blah, blah, blah. I loved your fashion. I love the All Saints jacket. It's like, he thought it was the fashion. He thought it was the All Saints outfit that made him cool, So it's kind of like, sometimes, the fashion can help if you have the right outfit.
And yeah, similar to, I like what you said before, when you get like a nice haircut or something, like it does just make you feel good. Like putting on some new clothes and getting a haircut, like, yes, there's her perception of that, but I notice guys, and even in myself, like when I shave and get a haircut, I mean, I'm going bald now, but you know what I mean? Like you feel better about yourself. So yeah, do it. It helps. I'm too short. I guess this is a mindset thing.
It's a mindset, yeah. So, I can't get girls. So I can't.
I'm too short. I'm too Indian. I'm too fat. I'm too
whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Overcoming that mindset, where it's like, yes, I'm short. It's gonna suck. Like there are girls that are not gonna be into me. Maybe initially, maybe ever. But I can generate attraction. I can get women. It may not be on, on the same level as like a 6'3" fucking Greek god looking dude, but I could work hard and improve the area and do the most that I can with what I'm working with.
Yeah, I would say this is like a big ROI. This is a step up from being pessimistic, I feel. Like pessimistic is like, I don't think it's going to go. This is like, it won't go well. Like I just don't have the capacity as the type of man I am for this to work. That will fuck you every single time. So I would say this is going to be like a big ROI. There's a lot of ways, again, that we kind of work through this with guys. One is the experimental part, which is, okay, you don't think this is going to work? Let's just try. Okay, let's just test and see. You can think I'm too short all you want, but let's just see. Then there's also the more CBT approach, which is let's look at another example. Let's find the evidence. Why do you think this? There's different ways to work through this, but we need to get you to a point where your mindset has to be being short sucks. Yes. Being short makes me less attractive. Yes. However, I can be a short motherfucker and still be super attractive and have a freedom in my dating life and pull the types of girls that I want to pull. And that is possible. Now, do I have to work hard in other areas? Yes. Right. Obviously, being a tall 6'4" Chad, chiseled jaw, six pack would make it a lot easier. Okay. But it's not you. Okay. So let's accept that and figure out what we do to fix it in other areas of our approach. So yes, I think big ROI. I also had I'm too Indian, but I'll just combine this unless you want to talk about your heritage.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I want to talk on this.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah. So that's
I'm getting like kind of like flashbacks.
Yeah. I understand.
Because I went, guys. Hey, all my Indian followers, I went through that stage.
I know. And you tried to tell people that you're not Indian. I know you even decreased it down. You're telling people you're like 25% at some point, but that's yeah. It's good to just own it.
This is something that I did struggle with, and I don't really want to talk about it. This is between me and my Indian guys, like in a sort of more closed.
That's fair.
Setting. So,
someone asked Native American. That's funny as fuck, bro. Well done. That's hilarious. So we have here, don't delete this video. It's a good reference. Yeah, we'll leave this on, my man. Thank you. These are the only guys who will pay for coaching. That's 100% the only guys who should ever pay for coaching. Jesus, but thank you. I just feel like it's all ballers here in Miami. I don't know what that means. Are you saying like it's competitive because like there's a bunch of rich guys?
Yeah, like rich guys, handsome guys. Vikram, if you're in Miami, I may be in Miami. I'll be in Florida for sure. We'll see. I don't know.
Boring storytelling.
Oh man. I don't know if it'll change your life. I mean, I think we go helpful because you could do very well and get away with just being a bad, decent, okay storyteller, or not really telling stories, I guess. But bitches love stories. They love stories.
Sorry. Oh, dude, women love stories. And people love stories. Like, if you're just in a group of guys, get so much better at telling stories where people are like, oh, what happened last weekend? I was like, if you're in a social, like a mixed or even just guys, if you get really good at telling stories, it's exciting, it's fun, people want to have you around. So it's a life skill. Get good at it.
I used to set my girl up. I put her on a chair. I would stand in front of her and just tell stories. Just tell stories. You know, I had a couple of people walk in like, hey, David, can I? They're like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, and I'm like, all right, and this happened and this happened. Bro, they love stories. And all my stories are pretty much like me and Mark gangbang this girl. Like, all right, this was 2018 Budapest. Okay, we were on like a 5-night, pool streak, and it's like a lot of my stories are kind of like that, but they love any kind of stories, and it's a great way to display pre-selection. A lot of different DHVs, who you are, really very attractive traits. So you could tell a lot about yourself through stories. And I had a student last summer where we just had a night of storytelling. Right? It's like go to the group set and find a way to get to a story as quickly as possible. Okay, just get in and tell a story. And yes, at the beginning, it was like, why are you telling me this? Like, what the fuck? But look, after 5 interactions, you found a way to smoothly get it in after 30 seconds. And man, they got so excited because the women were loving that. They're like, tell us more, tell us more. They never got this much engagement and excitement from women. And they were spending the entire night telling stories. And they would tell stories and drop in like 30 orgasms or something. You know?
Yeah.
And it was like, man, game over after that.
Do you remember when we were at the Zagat Festival with one of our students, and he was practicing the storytelling? We were at the table. We literally called a girl over. We're like, "You got to listen to this story." That's how we opened. She's like, "What?" She comes, sits over. I'm like, "Tell the story." And yeah, he went into like a sexualized story about, I think, making a girl squirt on one of the rides of the festival. So shit, it was pretty wild. But this girl was eating it up. She was loving every minute of it. So yeah, 100%. Storytelling can be really powerful. No DHVs.
So this is not, I guess, actively DHVing in some way, I guess.
Yeah. This is, I feel like this is a standard for almost like.
It's kind of like maybe, I don't know if you have humble, I guess this is part of it. You think being humble is better than talking yourself up in some way. So we have a lot of students like, oh, I would like to be humble. Like a lot of French students, I'm humble. I like to be humble. And it's like, the girl doesn't think you're fucking humble, by the way. She just thinks you have no value. You have no value. You have nothing to talk about. She doesn't see, like, it's one thing if she knew that you were Brad Pitt or like fucking Johnny Depp or something. And it's like, look, I don't want to, oh my God, Johnny Depp is so humble. He's won all these awards. He's a multimillionaire, But she doesn't know who you are.
Who's that?
She doesn't think you're humble.
Who's that actor from The Matrix? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. That motherfucker, right? I've seen posts before where like he takes public transport. So he's like on a train and people like, look how humble he is. And that's a really great point. He's humble because he's so famous. But then you just pan the camera to the left. No one's ever saying, oh, look at George sitting on the train. He's so humble. Wow, what a humble guy. No, it's just like, this is a broke motherfucker taking a train, right? No one gives a fuck. So it's like, you need to be that star. You need to be able to like demonstrate who you are. You need to be able to show that you're a successful guy, blah, blah, blah. And then you can kind of pull it back and be humble. But without that, you're just like a random brokey, right?
100%.
I would say this is big ROI.
Big. If you know how to DHV and somewhat smoothly DHV and frame your DHVs well, maybe time it well, bait it. Look, I have interactions where literally the only thing I talk about is a DHV. Whatever topic we're talking about, DHV it. You know what? Fuck it. You want to talk about flying planes? I don't know. I don't know anything about flying planes, but I can DHV flying planes somehow. But look, the girl can walk away where you think you were humble and she just perceives you as having absolutely no value and you're uninteresting, or she could walk away going, fuck, man, this guy is very interesting. He's got a lot of value. You know what I mean? Like the only thing she knows about you is very interesting things about yourself, valuable things.
100%. And yeah, that's something we help with is finding that balance between, okay, number one, what questions a girl's going to ask me? So like, what are the topics that I will DHV on? And then as Swift kind of said is how to do it in a way where you can find that balance where you actually don't sound obnoxious and like too try hard, let's say, but you are able to generate all that value. So yeah, some of those ways is like the negatively framing things. So, oh, I travel around the world, and then you make it almost sound like a bad thing. Yeah, I travel around the world. I got a lot of fans everywhere. It's so much fun. But like sometimes I miss just being at home and having my own space, right? Like so you can. There's different ways we can do this. We explain it in the.
But I would recommend instead of starting off like being super humble and working the DHVs in, I'd rather you start with overly DHVing. Being a fucking narcissist, being try hard, but get the DHVs out there and learn how to deliver them, to frame them, and then you could like tone it down. Then you could tone your DHVs down and learn how to bait it, deliver them a little bit more smoothly, less try hard. I think it's a better approach.
Nice. Pre-selection. So I guess this would be like a lack of pre-selection.
Lack of, I mean, could we put like inexperience, maybe like lack of pre-selection or inexperience?
Yeah, lack of pre-selection, yeah, inexperience. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. I mean, this is.
I mean, I put this as like small improvement or helpful, to be honest, and I'll give my reason why, and then maybe you can disagree with me.
Yeah.
I think pre-selection as a DHV is like S tier, and I think we may have even put it there with our last one. But in terms of a sticking point, I feel like you need to basically get that experience. Like, we never have a student on a boot camp and say, actually, your biggest problem right now is lack of pre-selection. So what we're going to work on in our first section is pre-selection. It's like you do all these other things in order to get experience and get pre-selection. Now, maybe you get better at demonstrating that, and that's a part of DHVing. But like these guys, sometimes you hear programs where people get them to like set up parties and things like this. That doesn't work, right? Like, this is pre-selection. The girl needs to think that you are pre-selected. The girl, you don't want her to think that you've put together a party, right? Like, no girl's ever like, wow, his planning and hosting skills are so incredible, I can't wait to fuck him. Or like, wow, this guy has a bunch of girls that he invited to the party that are here for drinks or some shit. Like, we saw an example of this on Fresh and Fit, where they had a boat party that they charged guys like $5K or more to join. And then all the guys were just standing in a circle. The girls were just off having drinks. And then Myron and shit tried to interview on the girls. They're like, we're just here for the drinks. It's like, none of those guys are pre-selected, right? So like, it's a really hard sticking point to be able to just like have.
Video. That was rough.
Oh, it's fucking disgusting. Yeah.
So bad. Oh man.
So I would put it in like helpful or small improvement from that lens, but maybe you disagree.
No, I was going to disagree with you, but the way that you put it, I'm with it.
Awesome.
I'm with you.
Doesn't go for pulls.
So it doesn't pull the trigger. Might be able to actually go for the pull.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to get a lot of objections. It's not going to work out. Maybe you get like an absolute no. But there are a lot of guys who just don't go for the pull. They may have a 30-minute, even a 2-hour. Oh my God, I've seen motherfuckers. Oh, this triggers me still just thinking about this. But I had a student, and after like days of coaching, man, we went through everything, opening all the way to pulling, like teaching, sexualizing, everything. And man, he had perfect interactions. He had one particular interaction with the hot girl. It was perfect, but he didn't go for the pull. Like, she was like, I could hear her go, oh, but my friend, she's not going to be here, and da da da. He would not go for the fucking pull. You got to go for the pull. You got to go for the pull. You got to get the objection. You got to get used to going for pulls, even if it's not the most perfect interaction. I mean, how the fuck are you supposed to fuck or make anything happen if you don't go for the pull? Anyway.
Yeah, 100%. This is almost similar to approaching side. If you don't approach, how do you expect anything to happen? So, yeah, I guess from that point of view, I'd almost put it in like S, like it's just like you can't fuck unless you go for the pull. But then I guess like there's a lot of students that just naturally go for it at that point. So I don't know, where would you sit this in terms of the tier list?
Oh man, I would say this is not the like biggest sticking point we have to deal with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, hey, you're doing well now. Like, let's go for pull. You maybe got to tell them a few times.
Yeah,
this is how you go for the pull. So I would say it's the biggest deal. But if you're a guy, you're like in long interactions or even 15-minute interactions, you're not going for pulls and you're not pulling. Well, this is fucking S tier. It may change your life if you actually just go for pulls more often.
What is value anyway? Oh, you're responding to someone in the chat. He can answer, but basically, like, value to me are the things that are going to make women attracted to you or that build compliance, I guess, is like one way to look at it. All right, talks too fast. I feel like almost most students talk a little bit too quickly for the interaction. And that's just a product of nervousness. And I think once you solve a lot of the nervousness, this is kind of solved. The problem is the students that talk fast all the time. This goes back to your heritage Swift. Like some, Yeah, exactly. There's going to be some languages or like cultures that typically speak a little bit quicker. And for those guys, like you just need to be careful that you're not speaking too fast. So I would say like this is something that I think is solved usually with like other sticking points. And there's some guys that talk a little bit quick in general, in which case like they need to practice slowing things down in general. But I would say this is helpful. It's not like a huge sticking point that I feel like everyone we need to spend a bunch of time working on.
It's hard to get the girl in the mood to like sexualize. You know what I mean? Like you're like getting in close. It's very difficult to get her horny. If you're like, oh yeah, do you like this? You want to? Very difficult.
Over validating. So this goes back to we had one here about being too nice.
Like,
so I'd put it with like be too nice. This is a part of it. Oh my God, you're so pretty. Like, oh wow, I can't believe it. You must get attention from all the guys. Like da da da. Jesus, like. Even honestly, that's like an exaggerated example. I feel like over validating is also just a function of, as we were talking about before, not disagreeing or not stripping validation. That's also a function of this. So even if it's just like, what do you do for work? I do X, Y, Z. Oh, cool. That's really nice. So do you like, blah, blah, like that is still over validating for me. Like the threshold here is so low for what is over validating in the sense of like an interaction with a woman.
Yeah, I mean, and look, you can look at it as like you just only validate when she does something that you want to validate. That's going to help the interaction, right?
Good.
So like if she's going to like be if I'm going to say something sexual and she could object or get pushback, but she's a little bit compliant to it, I may validate that. She maybe answers a question that might be usually hard to gain a little bit of compliance. I'm going to over validate that so that next time, you know, when I ask a little bit more explicit question, she's going to like, I need that validation. I'm going to answer this fully. So I would say like strategically using your validation or over validate, because sometimes I over validate. You want to talk about the time you got fucked in the ass at a festival or something. Ah, man, this is incredible. This is great. So I'm going to over validate that shit. You want to be agreeable with me nonstop? I'm going to validate that, you know? I'm going to validate your validation of me.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Using validation as a way to like encourage certain behaviors. That's really cool. I like that. By the way, Swift, I really like how you prepare these live streams and do all the work beforehand and did the thumbnail. It was really amazing, actually. I thought it was like the title was really perfect and awesome. And yeah, thank you for doing that. You did such a great job at that, by the way.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that, but I'm going to work a little bit harder next time. I'm going to work a little bit harder. I'm going to make these a little bit better for you guys.
Oh, all right. Then we have bad sex. Excuse me, bad sex skills.
I mean, change your life.
Change your life. Yeah, really? I think so. Yeah. There's just no way you can have retention if you're having shitty sex, and you're just missing out on the ability to have like true female understanding. And you know, you're not going to be said to sexualize like if you just have better sexual skills. Now, again, like day one boot camp, it might not be we need to fix your sex skills before we go out and do anything else. But like a part of the female understanding is going to help your sex skills, because if you understand that, okay, girls get turned on in their mind a lot and need some dirty talk beforehand, or you understand that like they have crazy fantasies that you can like figure out and then deploy that, like these all link into each other. So yeah, I would say this is a change your life sticking point that is worth spending a lot of time working on.
Bro, when I was going through old interactions in like WhatsApp and Instagram and all that, for like going back years even. With my girl, and I was like reading through like the most desperate messages, like girls was blowing up my phone. She was like, you kind of look like a sexual object. Like she's reading how the girls are like talking to me and what they want. It's like, please, I don't care. I don't want to hang out. Can I stop by for 15 minutes and just like really quick come? Can you do that fingering thing again? And it's like, I didn't really think about this, but she's like, yeah, there's nothing romantic here. Like, I don't know, you're just like a sexual object. This is her reading my old messages from other girls. And it's like, yeah, man, when your sex skills are on point, like girls will chase. They will blow up your phone. That's ultimately what you want, right? You want girls to chase.
Yeah, 100%. And even to some girls, like having the good sex skills even builds that. Like some guys will ask me, what do girls mean by a connection? Or what do girls mean by like all this shit? Like sometimes just having like, the girl knows nothing about me and we just had a crazy sexual experience. And she'll start having all these feelings that come up and she'll like, that's what creates all the chasing. Now, yeah, I think a lot of the times like the girls probably realize that, okay, like I really want to seem so bad. I'll just come over for 15 minutes and I won't bother him and I won't do anything else. And, you know, they'll try to run their game. But like, even it helps to have them this sense of like building something more as well, even through just like coming a bunch, which makes no sense, but it works.
Yeah, being able to open up.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've said this before. Like, if you want to have a deep conversation with a girl, don't do it on the first date. But like, the best time to do it is after this girl has come like 10 times and she's laying there like a fucking mess. And now you can have like, if you want a deeper conversation with this girl, she will fucking open up because she just laid there and basically exposed her soul. I had a girl in one of the sex coaching things I ran in Vegas where I made this girl squirt. And this was like she was a tantric girl. She actually came to help us with a training. Like we were paying her as like a tantric instructor. And I was demonstrating and I made her squirt. This girl just burst out in tears. And after like holding it for a bit, she's like, I've never squirted before. And I just felt like this massive like emotional release. And it was incredible. It was amazing. And I was like, that was just from sex skills, right? I didn't ask her about anything else. I didn't run anything. I didn't buy a dinner. I didn't do it. Like it was a theory session, well, a practical theory session, and she had that type of response. So yeah, I mean, we could sit here and probably talk about this for a whole live stream, but I would say yes to. Yeah, we can help you out with this in the mastermind. There's a bunch of stuff in there about it. Too eager to meet. So when are you free and like the third message?
Yeah. I mean, for me, this one bothers me so much. This bothers me because I like when girls chase. I want a little bit of mystery. I want them to be a little bit unsure, like how much I like them. If I'm going to message for the meet, am I going to go for it? I want them to kind of think about me a little bit, right, and wonder. Look, if you're eager to meet, if you're trying to set up the meet like early on and you're pushing for it, like what is she thinking? Desperate. No other options at all. She's immediately going to get a little bit turned off or a lot turned off. She's going to put you at the end of the queue. Maybe she has 10 guys that she's working with, 10 leads. Guess what? You know who she's putting up in the front is not necessarily the best looking dude, by the way. You would think this. I did my research into this, okay? I did a lot of research. It's not the best looking dude. It's not the one with the six pack. It's the one that is the least available, the one that she may not be able to meet. There's some sort of time restraint, and there's a little bit of mystery behind it, right? You could be the best looking guy in her leads. If she had 10 leads, you could be number 10 and be the best looking guy out of all 10, but you're the most eager. So she's like, this is easy. Like I could just flake on this guy, put him at the end. He'll still be around, and I'll just fuck this guy and meet this guy, and I'll get to him eventually, right? But all of a sudden, if you take away that eagerness, you know, I do that with some students. We're like, all right, we're going to remove this eagerness and kind of fuck with her a little bit. All of a sudden, she's got time. So I think this is super fucking crucial. And one of the things I did with students who had issues with retention was I said, don't go for meets. You number close, don't go for a meet. You meet her on a date, but don't close, don't go for the meet. You fuck her, don't go for any more meets. Do nothing. 3 months later, he said, I've never had so many options. Like, hit me up and ask to meet. I'm like overbooked for the next 4 weeks, right? So this one like bothers me. I don't know where we would put this. Like for certain students, it was like change your life because all of a sudden there's like retention and everything. I would say maybe big ROI. Because if you're like on point with everything else, you could kind of get away with being a little bit eager to meet. You know what I mean? Like if you're a fucking god, you're a game god, she may be flattered that you're going for the meet. So you kind of get away with it a little bit. You won't notice a big difference there. So, yeah. Yeah,
I agree. And sometimes for guys to understand this, because sometimes they might be like, if a girl was eager to meet, that'd be great. Like we just meet up and it'd be smooth and blah, blah. once you have a lot of options, you'll start to notice this. Like once you have 10 girls hitting you up that want to meet, you start to almost prioritize with who's just more available now. And like, as in like, who do you think will be the most difficult to meet up with that I can meet up with now? Because if there's a goal, it's like, well, any day in the next 2 weeks works. It's like, cool. You're getting put on the back burner. This girl's like, I'm going on holidays tomorrow. Tonight's the only night. Okay, I'm meeting up with this girl. And I mean, assuming they're all kind of like similar. Or like, even if you were to like buy a used car and you go up and you're like, yeah, I'm thinking of offering you like 20 grand. And the guy's like, yep, that's great. You'd be second thinking like, oh, is this car like fucking broke? Why is this guy desperate to get around? I lowballed him and he just said yes. So yeah, that's how it feels if you want to
that's so funny.
have an analogy there.
All my old messages, man, the amount of girls I just never met that were asking to me like over and over again. I'm like, why didn't I meet her and this girl and this girl? There were so many. And I was thinking, I don't have enough time to meet everybody. Yeah. I have to like try to find a system to prioritize. Like, oh, they're all hot. I don't know. Like maybe I put like one because she's a little hotter than the other, or like her ass compared to this one, but like they're all like fuckable. So like, what am I doing? I have to figure out a system. I can't, like physically, I cannot meet all these women. I just can't do it. Guess what? I was meeting the women who are not like chasing hard. That's what I noticed. Like boom, boom, boom. I was kind of like, so, like trying to bait it a little bit to like get them to kind of go for it maybe. And then I would like close. The ones that were chasing, I just ended up never meeting.
Yeah, dude. Blue said that's when you need a funnel made up. We actually had a student that was developing a CRM like style thing where it was able to do that. It would put like the girls in there, let you know like where you met them from, where you're messaging them from, Instagram and stuff. I think at even some point he was able to like draw in those messages or something. I don't know. He was a smart dude. I'm not sure if he ended up finishing that or creating it. That was a while back. I need to ask him. But there was someone who was actually trying to find a solution for this. Text too often. So I guess this would be similar to like ego.
Oh, man. I mean, in regard to just like text gaming, this was like a text game sticking point. I mean, this would be up there in S. But this is the problem that every guy has. When I look at a guy's phone, or if I go like one of my girls' phone, like on a Tinder date or something, man, it's like guys who aren't in game, text too fucking much. Guys don't understand. You don't have to text the girl every day. You don't have to have long conversations every other day. You don't have to text so much. It's not necessary. It's only hurting you. Okay, just like too eager. You text a lot, she's gonna think you're eager. You really like her, and that's a little bit suspicious, right? It becomes you have the eagerness and you have text too much. It's kind of like the car. Like, I'll take 20,000. It's like, hold on, a little bit suspicious, a little bit weird, right?
Yeah.
Like this is, I don't know where to put this. Like big ROI.
Handling rejection. I think this is big. I feel like this is big because it annoys me, all the fucking red pills and shit that they don't know how to handle rejection. It just ruins their fucking game because now they just go for low quality women where they avoid rejection as much as possible. When it comes to our students though, I feel like most of our students are okay at this. Like this might be tied with AA a little bit, but I feel like most of our students handle rejection pretty well. Like I feel like because they have the level of female understanding, they're not like butthurt, I hate women type shit. But I'm biased here because I'm sick of the fucking guys online that don't understand women and then just hate themselves and hate women. So I feel like if it's for our students, it's probably like helpful. I feel like if it's for the broader internet, it's like S tier. So I don't know. Where do you want to put this?
Oh, man. It's again, like you said, it's not something that we have to spend a whole lot of time getting over, like during coaching. So I would say like helpful, maybe, or A, but
cool.
Yeah, it really depends on New York, because it could be like change your life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Dirty talking.
Yeah.
I feel like this is more advanced. So I feel like this can be awesome and super helpful, and it can take your interaction from something that where there's like sexual authority and female understanding to a point where this girl is dripping wet, wanting to fuck. Like, objections don't matter. Doesn't matter if her friends are fucking there. Doesn't matter if she has to wake up in the morning early or some bullshit. Like, you've turned her onto a point now where she wants to fucking take you home. But it is such an advanced skill, and you don't necessarily need it. You can just have, I guess, like the sexual authority, female understanding without it. So here I'd put it like helpful, maybe. Just because, like, when you do use it, it almost feels like it changes your life. It's advanced, and guys can get away without dirty talking, I guess.
Yep. Helpful.
We're in the Mastermind. We have like a dirty talking document and stuff like that with some scripts. You can also, the way I practice is I just read a lot of erotica and just got used to like the language that they use. And then I used to read like stories to my rotation girls. Like when we'd go to bed, I'm like, let me read you a bedtime story. I just read a chapter of an erotica book and just go practice doing it. Because at first you might feel silly, but like if you're just reading out of a book, like you can't, and you just get used to it. Group set, someone mentioned this earlier. I think this is a big problem for most guys. I think this is a big ROI. Yep. It teaches you a lot, and it's just so many better dynamics. I have a bunch of videos on YouTube recently about how to game group sets, so guys can check that out.
The way that I see it, if I see a guy, he could go into a group set, 5 girls, whatever, 5 girls, mixed set, doesn't matter. If he could go in and run a really good game, have charisma, speak up, he knows how to lead and control the group, I automatically think this guy's very experienced. One-on-one, he's going to absolutely fucking kill it. And like, I don't know, like learning to handle group sets is going to help in other areas of game as well. So I think big ROI, big. And plus, you fucking go into a big group set in the club, and other girls see that shit. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's impressive.
It's impressive, and they're going to come over to you. The amount of times I've seen girls come and grab Mark away from another group set and bring Mark into their group set, and all of a sudden it's like 2 group sets merging together, and they're trying to talk to Mark. It's big.
Agreed. We have clock blocks in LMR. Maybe the AI, when I got these tiles made, I feel like these should almost be separate. But let's say cock blocks. Dealing with cock blocks.
Well, I mean, every guy sucks at dealing with cock blocks. Right?
Yeah.
Even the most advanced guys they struggle with cock blocks. Yeah. And you're gonna get cock blocked quite often. So
yeah, I feel like if this is friend objection, and we'll talk about handling objections, then this is almost like S or A if you're night gaming, because it's like happens every single set. If we're differentiating like cock blocks, so like the girls that are actually just awful human fucking beings that don't care about their friends and actually trying to pull them away, that's different, to be clear, from girls that are just like, I don't want my friend to ditch me, or like I just want to hang with her for the night. That's going to be like every group basically, unless you're in Sweden. So I would almost put this as like small improvement. I think this is like a super advanced skill. The chance of it being a cock block, I would say, is like 1-2 out of 10. And it's tough to get over. Like, dealing with a cock block is basically your job is to ruin their friendship. Once their friendship is ruined and she escapes the grasp of the awful human being that doesn't care about her, then you can close. And it's like a difficult thing to do. So
yeah, 100%. And I noticed I have a one-on-one student, and the better his game got, the more I heard the girl he's trying to pull tell the friends to go away. So there's like this progression where it's like, sorry, I got to go, my friends, or the girl's being dragged away. And the better he got over time, it was like they're fighting actually, like, fuck off, bitch. Like, I'm trying to talk.
Get away. Yeah.
So, that helps when you improve all these other areas. Like, your girl's going to start telling the friends, like, it's all good. I'm good.
And I think when you start game, you can't differentiate. Like, I think when you start game, you think every goal is a cock block, like every friend is. When you have a better female understanding, you start to understand, like, oh, hang on, these girls are just a little bit jealous, or they just want to spend time with their friend, or they're a bit like concerned, or they're like, and so once you develop those group set skills where you can build attraction with your girl, you can be nice to their friends and they can kind of accept you. You get that. You either get the girl saying fuck off, or you get the friends saying go with him, right? So it, the better you progress, the less you'll worry about this as well. Messy escalation.
Messy escalation.
So I guess it's just like poor escalating.
Poor escalation. Maybe when you have her back at home, you're on the living room. Ouch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is like not. Yeah. Okay. So this is like sexual escalation. Yeah. You're like trying to constantly make out with her or something, and don't know how to like move forward towards sex.
Yeah. Exactly.
Cool.
I mean, fuck, man. Like, there's a lot of guys are in this situation where they're pooling and they're in the living room or in the bedroom. And it's just like awkward escalation, or maybe they're not setting the tone or the vibe, so it sounds fun and goofy. And it's like, oh, okay, and they go for the kiss, and it's like, wait a second, I'm not feeling it. The girl says, I'm not feeling it, and they're like, oh, she didn't like me. I got friend zoned because it's like, bro, just take it, like chill out for like 1 minute, slow things down. Create some tension. Like literally, it takes 30 seconds or 60 seconds. Get her in the mood. So this is kind of like an easy fix, but a lot of guys have this issue, and you're going to close a lot more girls this way if you improve your escalation.
Yeah, and I actually want to put this in change your life.
I think the amount of issues that guys have with this, and they're like, oh, did you close? Oh man, like I got her back to the place, and like she said she's not in the mood, or this or that, or like I did an awkward kiss, and like I don't know, made out with like your chin or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, let's include this as LMR, I think.
Yeah.
Every single time, and again, like this, I don't blame you guys. It's just like what they've been taught. Is like, I feel like every coach, the way they teach LMR is like freeze out or push pull, right? It's like, I'm going to try. Oh, I got to know. Okay, I'm going to hang out for a second, and then I'm going to like try. And this almost feels like the sexual version of interview mode, where it's like you just keep pushing through, and it doesn't feel smooth. It feels a bit needy. It feels a bit pushy. And like, it's just not that effective, right? So I think as Swift said, instead of thinking about like just being needy and then not, and needy and not, let's just make it smooth from the very fucking beginning. And let's add a little bit of area where you can have some room for her to chase, and room for like some space for her to actually want this. And then the escalation be really smooth. Like I love the massage close. That's one thing we teach a lot. And I have like a description of a video actually of how to do that in a group. And that's a really nice, smooth way to be able to escalate, where you don't have to deal with a lot of this like LMR. Like if you just get it to a point where you have female understanding, you build some sexual tension, you understand what she's into, you start to demonstrate that, like you're just not going to face a lot of LMR, a lot of rejections around sex to begin with. And sometimes like it does require you to take a different approach instead of just the same thing over and over again with breaks in between. And sometimes it might like require you just find out what's up. Like, what is the thing holding you back? Like sometimes it's just a question of like, what's holding you back? Because maybe she says like, I want a period, and she needs to feel comfort that that's okay. If you just stop and try and stop and try and stop and try, like you could have just dealt with the period thing. So yeah, messy escalation, I think, is like change your life. Handling objections.
Fuck. I mean, this. How the fuck do we not put this in S tier?
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of going to be similar to this. Yeah,
because I hear students get objections, and they're easy objections to get over. It requires you to either ignore it or say one thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's sometimes so easy. It's just that if you don't know how to respond to it, you have no idea how to respond, how to handle the objection.
I think your mic is cutting in and out. Is one of your
can you hear me?
That's better. Yeah, that's better.
So look, if you don't know how to handle these objections, you don't know how simple it can be, you may blow up an objection that's not really that big of a deal and turn it into something. And that big objection that you blew up may not even be a real objection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You may have to go through a couple of these fake objections to get to the real objection, like period. I remember you had to overcome an objection where the girl had to go home on the way from the pool to shave. That was their objection that you had to go through. Oh, not period. No, not this. No, not this. No. I don't know how the fuck you got to like, you need to shave? And the girls were like, yes, we have to shave. Well, okay, let's handle this. On the way home, we'll stop at your place. We'll wait outside. You guys go shave. Take your time. They came out freshly shaved and ready to go.
Dude, I remember sitting there thinking, like, how long do we give this? Like, are they? They came out all happy and shaved, and I'm like, this is the most fucking funny pool.
I don't think any PUA ever has handled that objection like that. I think that might be the first time in history.
Bro, so funny. So funny. But it worked. Like, you just have to get to that point. And as you said, like, sometimes they're fake. Sometimes the girl's like, how do I know you're not a serial killer? And it's like, the girls just don't want to feel needy or feel like, yes, like we said, like, yes, I will sell my car for $20K. Like, they don't want to feel like, yes, we'll have sex. Like, sometimes girls might give, like, I don't want to be needy type thing. And it's important to be able to differentiate between, is she actually worried about her safety? Or is this like just a bullshit, I don't want to seem needy objection? Because sometimes guys, it's just like a playful, how do I know you're not going to kill me? And guys will be like, no, I promise I won't. You can take here, I'll give my license to your friend. Here's my number. And the girl's like, oh my God, fuck, what is happening right now?
You know my line? You know my line? Is that the best line? But it's amusing. Are you going to kill me or something like that?
I feel like you'd almost go along with it. What is your line?
I'm gonna murder that pussy. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Murder. It's not the greatest way to handle it, but it's kind of, I don't know, it works.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it shows that, listen, I understand that this is some bullshit objection that you're giving. You don't really mean it. Like, it shows female understanding, and it moves it towards a sexual place, right? Like,
I like
gets
to play,
off
play into it a little bit.
Yeah,
where it's like, yeah, but that's kind of hot, right? Like, that's kind of sexy. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, you're not sure what's going to happen. Yeah,
good chance I'm not, but I could be. You never know. But is that exciting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, just coming over and over, not knowing if you're going to die at the end of your 15 orgasms?
Exactly.
Like, that's hot.
Bit of suspense. Yeah.
You got to turn the murder into something hot.
Compliance. Yeah.
Right. Compliance. Yeah.
Yeah. Handling non-compliance. I mean, this is very broad. I feel like, I mean, I guess like just big ROI. Like, I feel like every set you basically need to handle non-compliance to some level. Like, it's rare you're just going to have a compliant 100% set the whole way through, even if it's something as simple as like the objection. So I think it's fairly broad, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure. Big ROI. This is not handling attitude.
Oh man, this is tough because I feel like the more advanced you go, like more like this will change your life. Like, I'm thinking, you know what? There was a time where maybe I wasn't the greatest at handling attitude. I wasn't horrible, but I was still pulling and closing the girls that I could. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then
100%.
Level, it's like, well, hold on, I'm pulling these girls, but what's left or what's a little bit harder are the girls, let's say, with attitude, brats or something. And it's like, well, if I can't handle the attitude, there's a missing piece. There's a group of girls I'm not pulling.
100%.
So
there's a group of girls you're not pulling.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like the better you get a game is what I spoke about before. You won't get much attitude when you're completely getting friend zoned by every girl, right? You just won't face it much. But when you come in and you're the attractive guy, where you're the fuck boy, where you have this pre-selection, where you have the sexual experience, you will face much more attitude. And that's what these red pillars don't understand. This is a good thing, right? This is a positive thing. The girls are actually treating you as a sexual partner, right? They're trying to run their game on you a little bit. So being able to deal with that is like...
That's so funny. That's so funny. I've traumatized students. I've traumatized students. Because I don't know, girls are so nice to students. I don't compared to us. I don't know. They're like so sweet to them, and it's like, you bring a student in, they're gonna like listen into your interaction, and they're mortified. They're like, what the fuck? She's gonna hit him. David's gonna punch him. Like, that's what they think. They're like, I thought you were gonna hit her. Like, I thought she was gonna hit you. Like they say this, and it's like,
So true.
no. This is how it works. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, like I expect her to give me a little bit of shit, or to have this a little bit more aggressive banter, for her to be like blunt and like very honest to the point. And it does sound rude or really fucking mean, but it's like, I expect this, I want this. And she goes, oh, thank you, you're sweet. I'm like, bitch, what's wrong with you? You have a husband? And it's like, yes, I have a husband. I was like, all right, well, that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, that mortifying thing is so true. Like, I remember in Bali, this is a couple of years ago, we had these girls, like, not on the dance floor, just off it. And my students were in trying to speak to him. The girls were just giving him attitude, nothing. And he came back to me and he's like, man, I don't know what to do. And like, I was frustrated because I was watching and listening to this set, and I was like, bro, this girl just wants you to be able to like show a level of masculine. She just needs it. Oh my God. It's just like, she's just being so bratty. Like, what the fuck, please. So I'm at this point where like, I feel like I'm edged, where I'm like, please, let's fucking do that. And I just walk in there, and I forget exactly what I said, but I had my hand like around her throat within like the first few minutes. Oh, dude, this was a girl. Like, remember, I ended up pulling, and then she came back the next night, and you said, I can't remember the tattoo. No. Sorry, different girl. This is the one where you said you can only go home with Mark if your friend goes home with him too. Do you remember this girl? So it was a Russian girl, and she was like following me around all night, and then. You kept saying like, you can't speak to Mark, because I was trying to coach. And then you said you can only go home with him if your friend goes home with him too, and you have a threesome. And I didn't know you said this. She comes up to me pissed, and she's like, all right, we can go home now. Your friend said we can go. And I'm like, what? I'm like, Swift. And coaching hours were done. You're like, yeah, it's chill. I'm like, all right. I start walking off, and she's like mad, and her friend's coming with us. I'm like, what is happening? And then she's like, yeah, your friend said I can only go home with you if I bring my friend. And I was like, bro. So anyway, point of the story is, sometimes like the girl just requires you to have like a level of dominance, and like that's what she's looking for. So I would put this, even though like we said, it's almost like a change your life thing, I would put it in helpful just because it's so advanced. You can do really well without this. Not many guys understand it. But if you want to have some really like incredible fun interactions, fun sex, if you want to unlock a portion of girls that almost no one else like has the ability to do so, unless you are just a serial killer, drug dealer or some shit, then yeah, you need to be able to
what are you going to do? Like, what do you do when you get into a relationship? You know, the honeymoon period is over, and your girl gives you a little attitude every once in a while. Yeah, it's bound to happen. I don't know, a little bit, no matter who you are, a little attitude.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we're talking at like the extreme levels, but it can come in just small versions with every girl, I guess. That's true.
You don't know how to handle that within a relationship. That shit blows up quick.
Yeah, that's true. Number closes early. So I guess this is like, day game, night game, and you're just like bouncing out of every set and number closing. This can work. Day game, yeah. This can work sometimes. Like, I mean, this is insinuating that it's too early, but like you can get early number close and it'd be okay. But I feel like most guys use this because, again, they're just scared. They're scared to move forward. They don't know what else to say. They're worried about rejection. So they basically set up like a platonic frame, and then they number close too early, and then they bounce, and then it goes nowhere. And then they're wondering, like, is my texting really bad? I get this question a lot. Like, none of these girls reply to me. And it's like, yeah, it's because you're number closing too early. You're not building any value. You're not doing anything else. So how often does this happen? I would say big ROI to helpful.
I think day game guys will, like, man, sometimes you just need an extra minute or two.
Yeah.
Like, build this up a little bit. But also a lot of guys will number close early when they don't know what to say. They're getting non-compliance. So I'm focusing on, all right, fuck, I have non-compliance. I don't have much value. Let me try to generate something. Like, fuck numbers. Let me spike her emotions. Let me tell a DHV story. Let me maybe fix my tonality. Maybe I'm monotone. Maybe I didn't realize how monotone I am. I'm uninteresting. I'm boring as fuck. Well, let me do this for like a minute or two. Let me try to build a little momentum, and then I can number close if I want to. Like, give it 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute.
Instant date or instant pulls got me all my in-person leads. Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, the longer time you spend inside, the better it is. This is a good one. Long dinner dates.
Man, this, you know what? Like, I don't know. I feel like this is like change your life kind of category. Like, I don't know. I'm just the amount of I don't know. The amount of times like my rotation girls are like laughing at the guys that they go on long dinner dates with over and over, like the sixth long dinner date, and they're like, "Hi, he thinks I'm a good girl, and he thinks I have this rule, and this guy." It's like, oh man, that's like the worst situation to be in, to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or when she got done with her long dinner date and she's texting me and she comes over still in her like nice outfit to get fucked.
Yeah, bro. The amount of times that happens is disgusting. Man.
It's horrible. And she's like, "Oh, look, he texted me, honey, I had a great day, and I wish we could do a 7th long dinner date." And it's like, man.
Yeah, the amount of girls that hit you up after a dinner date. We're about to do connection focus.
You know how many long dinner dates I've been on in the last 10 years? Do you know
it's
how many?
Probably zero. Yeah.
Zero, except for my main girls through the 10 years after like 2 years or something. Like it's ridiculous. Zero long dinner dates. You don't need long dinner dates. They put you in a particular category. Sure, look, we could go on a long dinner date and like fucking make this happen. You know what I mean?
I did that on YouTube. Remember, I was like, I set a platonic frame or something, or a romantic frame. Then I took a girl on a dinner date, and like I can make it work, but it's not fun. Like it's difficult. You're trying to eat at the same time. It sets a bad frame. It's such an easy fix. Just at the very least, just take it to drinks instead. Like, we'd encourage you to set up more sexual dates eventually. I don't want to
be like you. I don't want to be like you and like fuck girls and like have like casual. I'm looking for the one. I want to like something meaningful.
Oh, by the one, do you mean someone that you never have sex with? Is that what the one is? Is you looking for like a friend?
We have sex eventually. Like once the connection is there, the chemistry, obviously.
Oh, so once she doesn't respect you as a man and she treats you like a friend zone guy, is that when you want to have sex?
Usually, sometimes we have sex. Like if we do have sex, like the 20% or 10% or 5% of those dinner dates, we have sex like the 3rd or 4th date. But I get to know her. Like I don't want to. I want the dinner date. So
you wait till you're like too emotionally invested and have one-itis before you actually understand what the sex is like, or if you're into her at all. Oh, okay, cool.
She's the one. She's exactly my type.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like everything along these relationship spectrums should be earned by the girl, and you shouldn't overly invest in anything until you're sure of who she is and what you want out of this. So, I think connection focus is going to be S, and then long dinner dates helpful because I think that's such an easy fix. You just do a drink instead. So to me, it's like not that big of a sticking point. I think there's going to be a lot of long dinner date guys that do drinks and still treat it like a long dinner date. And that's why I think like connection focus should be S. How does that sound?
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Yeah, connection focus is, man, mystery method fucked so many guys up with this. Holy fuck. This idea that if you don't have compliance, it's because you're not friend zoned enough. I did a whole video on this. You guys can check it out. Is ridiculous. So I would change the word connection, because a lot of guys hear connection and they think, okay, I need to talk about my family and all this shit, and I need to come off as a nice guy, and I need to be a pussy, and like the girl needs to tell me about all the traumas or some shit. It's not sexy. It's not fun. It's not mysterious. It doesn't build anything. You get like family zoned or like friend zoned or some shit. So instead, the focus here, you could change it to, let's say, understanding or trust. That could be a better way to think about it. So if you go to pool and the girl actually has safety concerns, right? Then you could think about, I build some trust. So maybe telling her about the really nice building you live in with the security guards out the front, right? That could do it. Or like maybe she just thinks you're a fuckboy and you're just gonna fuck her, dump her, don't give a fuck about her. Then maybe you could talk about tantra, or you could talk about cuddling, or you could, like, I use the word soften yourself in a way away from just a fuckboy to like a confident fuckboy that actually will like be willing to see her again. So this is a big misconception that a lot of guys have. They turn into pussies and friend zone themselves because Mystery somehow had like connection in one of his 7-hour rule things. Yeah, don't worry about connection.
7 hours.
Yeah,
No. No. It's worse than that. Okay, I had a little debate with him in inbox, and he goes, "Wait, hold on, it's not 7 hours. Like that's just like the minimum. But like what you really need is 14 to 18 hours." I said from the club, how the fuck are you doing? How are you? And I was wondering, like, how the fuck do you spend that much time with a girl that you pull from the club? You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ!
Until I was in Vegas and they were running connection game, and they would literally early on pull the girl and spend 8 hours until like 9, 10 a.m.
Dude, Vegas is the worst place to do that because all these girls like are on trips with their friends and they like need to get back to their friends at some point. Like running connection game there is, oh my God. Yeah. Don't be the connection. I have a whole video on this if guys are interested. Don't be the connection guy. Mystery is both alleged and cringe. I agree with that statement so wholeheartedly. I think this guy is a nerdy Dungeons and Dragons dude that was a virgin, and he managed to create a system for himself where he got out there, spoke to girls, and closed every now and again. And that man is a hero, and he created like a system around it and made it more popular. Fucking incredible, amazing. But also super cringe, and there's so many better ways to go about it and so many improvements. And to like stick to that method after like 20 years or whatever it is like ridiculous without any change. So yeah, well said. I think hero and cringe at the same time. Weak opens.
Cold approach, like my game, day game. I mean, big ROI, right? I mean, you have a weak open, you can't hook, you can't start a conversation. And look, sometimes, if your opens are fucking incredible, like sometimes we tell guys like, just focus on like the first 30 seconds or focus on the open, the first 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and make it the greatest fucking 30 seconds of your life, and forget about what you're going to say within the interaction. Like, just forget about that right now. Just give it your all in that 30 seconds. What you see is like the girls are going to have a little bit more attraction for you. There's going to be a lot more compliance. They'll be more engaging, and you're going to be a lot more relaxed because she's showing signs that she wants to have this conversation. She's a little bit more attracted, and she's asking you questions, and the conversation is going to flow a little bit better, and you're going to be a little bit more at ease. So like sometimes if you just absolute dominate your opens the first 30 seconds, a lot of other issues will kind of be resolved or improved on.
Yeah, and girls will have a first impression that tends to last a little bit longer. So if you manage to have a good open, then even if you do something a little bit cringe after, like it's the halo effect of the open, right? The same way if there's a really good looking guy that says something cringe, girls are like, oh wow, that's so romantic or some shit. It's the same way. If you have a really good opener, she thinks you're charismatic, cool, interesting, then even if you fuck up a little bit after, she'll think it's good. Someone said it's hard to see, can you make it 1080p? No, we're stuck at 720p, but at the end I'll zoom in and go through. We just have a lot in these upper categories, which has kind of made everything smaller. So we're reading each of them out, but at the end I'll zoom in on all of them for you, or you can like bounce back if you just joined if you want to see some of the ones, because we used to be zoomed in a little bit more, or I can just do this for you. All right, where were we? Okay, poor retention. So this is where you have, oh fuck, I was going to talk about Swift leaving me. Okay, poor retention. This is something that every single motherfucker deals with, but I think most guys that come to us probably aren't at this point yet, where they're still trying to just get like quantity of girls that they're sleeping with. But dude, coaches come to us with this fucking problem of like, yeah, I'm able to go out and pull a little bit. Like, no, these girls want to see me again. It goes back to not being needy, having a good female understanding, and like great sexual skills. These are the big things. So I would say like this is probably going to be like a big ROI, because even though a lot of guys, everyone has this issue, usually you're focusing on things before this. But yeah, I mean, obviously at some point you need to fix your retention. Humor, I would say like small improvement. I think this is never something I focus on. If guys come to me and they're like, I don't really have a sense of humor and all that funny, it's like, cool, let's just focus on other traits like being more dominant or masculine. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time working on humor. I think for some guys that are funny, that's cool. We can work on how to like use that in your game, and also make sure that you don't just become the funny guy where you're trying to sexualize and it's jokes. But yeah, like small improvement, I'd say. Too serious. What do you think here, Swift?
We could make it work. If you're a very serious guy, we can make it work where you are generating attraction and pulling girls. But excuse me, you're going to be very limited in your game, quite a bit.
Super limited,
a lot of situations, a lot of different girls where you have to be more creative on the spot. And if you're like too serious, it's hard to be very creative on the spot. So if you want like well-rounded game and where you can pull all different types of women in all different types of situations, you're going to have to know how to be serious. You're going to have to know how to be a little bit, I don't say goofy, but a lot more outgoing, let's say, and fun. So you need a wide range. Like I have interactions where I'm very serious, like a fucking psychopath, and other ones where I'm a lot more expressive and fun, and I take nothing serious. The thing is, if you're too serious, I think you're gonna be a little bit harder on yourself, unless we're talking about like your game style is more serious. But I think it's important to have a little bit of fun, and if you take yourself a little bit too seriously, that's going to be very difficult to do. It's going to be hard to experiment if you're too serious as well. So I think a good mix is ideal.
Good mix is important. Like someone asked about being goofy. Like that would also be bad. Like these are the two ends of the spectrum. Like you want to find yourself in the middle. There are going to be some girls that being goofy is better than serious. So someone that's like very sarcastic and has a lot of banter, and there's going to be some girls that serious is going to be better than goofy, like an Eastern European, Ukrainian girl or some shit. So there, as Swift said, these are, you want to find yourself a little bit more balanced and have more tools in your toolkit. And sometimes like it depends where that seriousness comes from. Like if you're like that all the time, then your life could actually be more enjoyable if you're around your friends and you could take a joke. You know what I mean? So like life doesn't have to be so serious either. And you might actually find some more happiness and enjoyment as well. So I think both ends of these spectrums are bad. I think honestly, not many guys are stuck at either of these ends. I think this is like a helpful thing to be able to work on. And it's so sad, like you could be serious and still pull. Arguably, like it's a lot harder, I think, goofy, but you could be like goofy and still pull. But yeah, I would say like finding more of a balance here is super important, and it's a helpful sticking point to get through. All right, we had some questions here. So my friend disappeared 15 years ago. A few years ago, I found him on YouTube. His name is, you actually won't find him on YouTube, my man. Respect to these guys for being serious about pickup. Being stuck in your head is a big sticking point, not going to lie, 100%. Just don't over monkey dance it pretty much. Yeah, the goofy thing, you don't want to over monkey dance. I was stuck in my head this evening. I was worried about bothering women outside. Yeah, I mean, stuck in your head's a big deal. Maybe we can talk about it at the end if we got some time. Poor active listening.
For me, S. This is S for me, 100%.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because this leads into their female understanding. You can't understand her if you're not fucking listening. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And again, this is something that isn't taught. Like everyone's always, how do I say things? What do I say? Blah, blah, blah. Not many people think about how do I listen and how do I respond? Yeah, this is like massively important.
And you could see like in interactions where guys aren't actually really paying attention, aren't listening to the girl, or at least showing the girl that they are actively listening and understanding them and what they're saying. Once the girl realizes that you're not listening to them or understanding them, sometimes it takes a few minutes in the interaction for them to realize. But once they realize, what do? Shut off. They stop trying.
Yeah.
They give up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the
Yep.
point? So that's not good. It's
No,
not
not good.
Like,
No.
build something with a girl. It's probably not very good.
Yeah. And if you're actively listening, you can kind of figure out, okay, what does this girl value? What are potential objections that I might face? Like when I sexually DHV, should this be something that's more BDSM focused or, Dom sub, or is this something that's a little bit like sensual and tantric? Like all these things come from calibration comes from the ability to actively listen. Speaks clear. Sorry, go on.
With that,
Yeah, please.
You could get girls to talk more or longer, which buys you time to think about what's my next move. So you could go in and be like, oh, really? Really? You did that? That's very interesting. What do you mean by that? And they're like, oh, well, I do that sometimes. I'm thinking, all right, what am I going to fucking do right here? Like, what's your archetype? What's my next move? How much, like value attraction do I have? It buys you time. So that's going to be very important for guys who are like, I'm running out of things to say. I'm nervous. I don't know what's, I'm like, I'm just going to close early. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm going to do something. Get the girl talking and just pretend like you're listening while trying to figure out a strategy. What's your next move?
Yeah, it gets you out of your head a little bit at times as well when you are a bit more present and just like focusing on what she says too. So these things can be helpful. Speaking clearly. This is going to be similar to not speaking too softly, talking too fast. We can put this. I feel like most guys kind of speak clear. It's usually just like these other problems. I'll put it in helpful.
I think speaking concisely is a bigger problem than speaking clearly. Yes. So like concisely, I would move it up because a lot of guys, man, they just, like, look, motherfuckers, you could communicate what you're trying to communicate in one short sentence and it's delivered very well. Boom. It sounds assertive, confident, but sometimes guys will that one line and it's 5-6 paragraphs. They're like trying to work it in. And it just sounds like, I don't know, indecisive.
Yeah, let's change this to concisely and we'll move it up. I think that's good. I'll scared to escalate. I think we already had that. So I'll just pop that back. Easily discouraged. I think that's like pessimistic and also like low self-worth. And I think they're similar. Overly emotional. Okay, we can have that as its own, I think. I would say like, I don't like the framing overly emotional. I would call this like unable to deal with your emotions. I feel like you can't really control, like you will have emotions, like everyone does. The difference between a guy or a woman that is sitting there like crying on the floor and not doing anything about it, or a guy that just seems like he's got his shit sorted, is the ability to deal with that emotion that comes up. Like, I don't think it's necessarily the case that I feel less emotion than the guy with AA necessarily. I think I've just learned to handle or deal with those emotions or be stable under emotion.
Well, I think
that is almost like S tier
too, right? Like, I mean, there are guys that do feel more emotions. Like, there are like liberal versus conservative men. Like liberal men are going to feel a lot more emotions. They're being flooded with more emotions.
I would say, I would say there's some low IQ conservative men that might numb emotion. I would say they still have the emotion. It's just the way that you deal with it, right? Like if you want to sit there at home and have sex with your cousin or something and drink all day, you might numb your emotion, but I wouldn't say that's a really good way of like handling it.
You could say that, but also you're happier,
That's true. Yeah. Some alcoholics are pretty happy.
SSRIs, less therapy.
Yeah.
Overthinking, and it's just, I don't know. You just get more women this way. So,
if they're in your family, I guess. Yeah.
But here, I think emotional composure. I think is
100% emotional control.
Especially, have you ever been in a relationship with a woman? You need emotional composure, okay? Because they will fucking, at some point, like 4, 5, 6 years in, man, they will test your emotions, your emotional composure, your groundedness. They will test you. And if you react poorly once or twice.
And Ricky makes a good point here. Emotion is the language of women. If you don't express emotion, yeah, that's another good point. Like, this is why, like, the overly emotional part, like Swift speaks about this sometimes, where he will even express anger towards a girl, right? And on paper that sounds like really bad, but it's controlled anger. It's like, hang on, this is a response. This is something a girl did to me in the club that deserves like a response of anger, and that's how I choose to respond. I'm still in control, but that's where my emotions are going. Like, I might be. We spoke about this with the tonalities, right? We might want to express different emotions with this, like happiness, or like he said, my cat just died, I'm sad. You can be controlled with those emotions. So you can express sadness and accept sadness and be okay with sadness, or you can let sadness ruin your life and you can be sitting there like unbearably crying, not knowing how to get up and go to work and not doing any of this. So like, I agree. There's a nuance here, but I think it's incredibly important to have emotional control.
You know what I noticed real quick? My girl noticed that what you just observed, okay, about, controlled emotions. Like, hey, I gotta like express this particular emotion. My girl noticed that. She's like, I know what you're doing. Like, I know what you're doing now. The thing is, if I were to react a particular way, like out of emotions, she would just go, I don't know. I think he's just faking this. I think he's just like, it's a controlled emotion. So like, I have the excuse to be like, just kidding, like I didn't mean, that it was all fake, I'm just fucking with you. So like I can just go, here it is.
Like a plausible deniability.
Of, to be able to say like, hey, that was controlled.
Winging. Oh, okay. I'd put this as like, you don't even need a wing, to be honest. Like, it can help you in the early stages to have like some motivation and stuff like that. It can help you when you're super advanced and your wing is advanced. But otherwise, I feel like this might be something guys focus on a little bit too much. I'd put this as like helpful. What do you think?
I think you can. I would even put it in small improvement. Like, it's helpful.
Yeah.
If like you need wings, you go out with your friends or gaming with your friends all the time. But like, I didn't have wings most of my journey, and you can make it work.
Yeah, same.
You can absolutely make it work. So it's a small improvement. Like, yeah, you grab this guy and like, hey, can you fucking take this girl home? Like, but I think it's a small improvement. It's not totally necessary. And also, you become dependent on your wing. So if you have no wing, you game strictly without a wing, all of a sudden, like, this is fucking irrelevant.
Dance floor game, I also think, is like small improvement. You can go your whole game journey without opening a single goal on the dance floor and still be super successful. I think it can be helpful in terms of it can teach you to like, okay, I need to be loud. I need to fucking grab attention. I need to manage this. You might be in clubs or like your nightlife area only has clubs there's like predominantly dance floor. So it's like really hard to like pick off girls that aren't on there. Small improvement. Leading and assertiveness. Oh, this has got to be S tier, right?
This is 100% S tier.
Yeah. I mean, this goes into our
leading, great leading. I mean, great leading and asserting yourself, man, goes a long way. It could cut your interactions in half. You just lead hard. If you're very assertive, like, it can spark such great attraction immediately within the girl that normally you'd have to spend 30 minutes or an hour to like build this up. If you lead well, lead hard, and you're incredibly assertive, man, this is like that. The second you're building that, you're sparking that attraction.
1000%. Yeah.
Also, you could make shit happen. Okay, you can make shit happen if you're very assertive. You lead well. You're going to be a lot more efficient.
Proximity. So this is like how close you're standing to the goal, dude. I actually, this is either A or B for me, because when I walk down the street day gaming, I know if there's someone else there day gaming. I can tell. And the reason I can tell is proximity every single time. There's a conversation happening 2 meters apart. No one ever talks like that. No one, right? Like, sometimes I demonstrate to the students because they kind of forget. I'll just start having a conversation and I'll move back like 2 meters and I'll start giving him feedback, and then they come closer to me and I'll talk for a bit, and then I'll move back here and they kind of like move closer, and I'm like, why are you moving closer to me? They're like, oh, I didn't realize I was doing it. And I'm like, yes, this is a normal speaking distance, right? This feels weird, yeah? They're like, yeah, it feels really weird. I'm like, that's what you're doing with girls. Like, it looks so bizarre. And everyone fucking does it. So, like, I think, proximity is, like, very helpful. Maybe I should put it in B. I think it's, like, very helpful to, like, fix your interactions. It's one of the subcom things where, like, girls will just never feel any tension. And it kind of starts feeling a bit weird when you're so far away.
There's a disconnect. It's hard to build that connection. Yeah. And it's almost like you're signaling to the girl that you don't really want to do this. Like, you really don't want to be part of this interaction whatsoever. I mean, bro, like when I feel like super fucking introverted and I really do not want to talk to people, I create that distance. And people just they're not really interactive. They're not really engaging. But when I'm feeling a little bit more social, all of a sudden there's like a connection there.
Yeah.
So, what did we just do?
Stop. So I just moved these to the bottom so we can not zoom in out any further. So stopping on approach. Oh yeah, like actually stopping the girl, or how to stop her, day game stop. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, either helpful or big ROI. I think it's like really important. A lot of guys just go. We spoke about this with opening the other week. A lot of guys just open and the girl doesn't hear them, does it? They just keep walking. There's no tension. Learning to actually fucking just stop the girl, I think is important. So I'd put it helpful. There's a lot of guys that are like not giving a shit. Prize framing. So the constant like push pull, the constant like, why should I even talk to you? Or even just having that mindset. So again, the red pill kind of guys. I think it's helpful because not many guys, I think, that come to us are super prize framey. But the ones that are, this is ST. This will change your fucking life if you stop being so prize framey. But I think in general, maybe like a helpful thing to think about.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the guys that like focus on price framing aren't focusing on actually just DHVing, like just displaying value. So my thing is like, just stop price framing. Just don't do it.
Don't worry about a price frame. Yeah, but that's a really good point, because a girl will say, "What do you do for work?" And guys will be like, "Oh, I'm not going to say because I've had students do this," where it's like, she's making me qualify. She thinks I'm like a piece of shit, and she thinks I should just qualify to her. And I'm like, she just asked you back what you did for work, bro. She's having a conversation with you. I'm not going to qualify. I'm not answering that question. It's like, what? Or guys will be like, they'll do the whole joke, I work at McDonald's. And maybe they're just trying to be funny, but some guys are like, yeah, no, I'm not going to fucking qualify to her. And it's like, dude, she just asked you where you worked, man. Like, you're so fucking hung up on yourself that like you're just missing that this is just a conversation that you're having. This is your opportunity to show who you are and actually build a level of attraction. But you're so worried about the prize frame. Like, I've had guys where girls will be like, hey, like I can come over tonight at like 7 p.m. And he's like, I asked her 7:30 and she wants to move it to 7. Well, no, she's not coming over anymore. And I'm like, bro, this girl just coming over to fuck you, and she couldn't like what? What does it matter? Like, so yeah, like the prize ring shit's weird. Last one, sexual authority. This is going right up here, boys. This is right up here.
Game over.
Yeah. This is similar to what we spoke about in terms of, this is basically the mix of having like high self-worth, understanding women to a deep level, having great sexual skills, being able to escalate smoothly. I would even argue like handling objections, building a level of trust, understanding her through listening, emotionally stable. Like, this is where the girl is basically like leading. This is where the girl is like, this guy understands me. He understands sex. He knows what I want. This is a man, right? This is a dominant, masculine leading man that has this level of authority that I am turned on by and I would like to fuck. This is huge.
Yeah. I mean, It's huge, and also most guys are just horrible at this.
Bad at it. Yeah.
Bad. They don't show any sexual authority whatsoever. Actually, I mean, most guys don't even like really sexualize.
Yeah.
Man, if only, like, the thing is, I feel like when we talk about this, a lot of guys, they don't realize how big it is. Like they don't take it too seriously, so they don't try to improve in this area. And if only they knew, like, if only they knew, if only they knew, and they just worked on it a little bit, and they got to see some results, some progress from it, they would be hooked. That's why a lot of guys in the mastermind are fucking hooked, because they try it, they're putting some effort into it, and they get to see some progress, and over time, amazing results. So it's like, man, if only guys knew, if they only like put some effort into this and tried, it would change their life.
Yeah.
Change their fucking life.
Yeah. And we went through this with DHVs and stuff as well. Like, if you want to compete with other guys on looks, like if you want to be a looks maxer and just focus on that and go out and think, I'm going to compete with everyone and I'm just going to lead with looks and that's going to be my thing. Yeah, I mean, good fucking luck, okay? There's a lot of fucking good looking guys out there. There's the red pillars, they want to compete with money. So I'm going to just earn a bunch of money. Then they fall into problems if that's really difficult to do, number one. But then number two, like every girl just treats them like a fucking wallet and just use them and disrespect them and stuff like that. You can try to get status, right? I don't know how easy it is to be famous. Good luck. Yeah, I don't think that's too easy. And there are even famous guys that obviously get fucking disrespected and used by women anyway. But sexual authority, how much competition do you think there is there, right? Like how many... If you speak to a woman, what's their biggest complaint every single fucking time? It's like, this guy doesn't understand me or he's bad in bed. It's like every single fucking time, that is the fucking complaint. It's rare that you actually, this happens sometimes, but it's rare I've met girls where they say, oh yeah, the reason I broke up with my ex or the thing I struggle with is in town is like people just aren't good looking enough. Or like, oh, people don't earn enough money in this city. That's what I don't like about the guys here. I've never hear that. You ask them what they don't like, the guys here are pussies. They're too soft. They're bad in bed. They don't understand me.
The girls who had a breakup or a falling out with the best sex of their life. So the guy who's like top tier sex god almost never say they broke up with the guy. It's always the guy did this or he left her. They never say, it's always like, oh, I broke up with this guy. It's like, okay, in bed, how are they? He was horrible. He was okay, I guess. I don't know. But who was the best? Oh, it was this guy. It was the great. Where is he? Like he was kind of like doing his own thing, I guess. And like it was, he left. He broke my heart. He was great in bed, but he was an asshole, and it just didn't work out. They never break up with the sex god, ever. I don't even know if I don't think I've ever heard a girl tell me I had a breakup with the sex god. It's very, very rare. Very rare.
Sure.
Because they will keep the sex gods some way on the side, or if they can get them in a relationship, or just fuck every once in a while behind your husband's back. Like what do you?
All right, there it is, boys. I've zoomed in because I know it's 720p. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, and let me figure this out. Yeah, that was a fun tier list.
It was a good one.
I enjoyed it.
We addressed quite a few. I mean, there's more sticking points, obviously, right? But
I feel like we addressed most of them. Yeah.
Guys, do you have any other sticking points we could address in just a couple of minutes?
And does anyone... Would you guys be interested in a stream where we break down clavicular and the looks maxing stuff? I know he recently had a overdose, went to hospital. And that was, I saw it, like there was a few people commenting on it and whatever. Personally, I'm a bit like, I don't know, but I know it's a popular topic and it's kind of interesting for a lot of guys. So
I'm so uninterested in this clav. Like I find him very uninteresting. what he talks, what he's been doing is so uninteresting. There's every aspect. I don't even know how this is a thing, to be honest. I have no idea. I'm beginning to think it's some sort of psyop, like, as it just doesn't feel right. It just feels like manufactured. This is like a new conspiracy that's I'm trying to create.
I think it can be explained. I think like there's just a lot of guys that want something to be able to blame their struggles on, because it is tough out there dating. And so like to be able to just say like, oh, it's looks, and then I think it's entertaining for a lot of guys, because there's something about like, if you don't like women, right? And like, if you just got rejected at the club, you come home and you open a clavicular short and it's him telling your girl, like, get away from me. It's like, yeah, take that, which can feel really nice for a lot of guys. But I mean, him overdosing, I was interested by the drug cocktail. I was like, oh, well, this motherfucker taking. But otherwise, from a game point of view, it's kind of pretty, I feel like this is like teenage shit. I feel like a lot of teenagers watch him. Yeah. But I don't know. It's doing well on YouTube. It's basically where I brought it up. I don't know what our audience is like wanting or like, but I don't know. If these guys want a club thing, just write in the comments, and maybe we could do up a live stream about that. But yeah, if not, I mean, I'm also a bit meh. His Todd maxing, yeah. Women aren't 90% as shallow as these guys think they are. Yeah, 1000%. We are getting mogged, lads. A lot of people talk about ego. Few people can define it. I'm anti looks maxing status, to be honest. Sorry, I need glasses. Being too narcissistic, extremely high ego. Yeah, a lot of people talk about ego, but they can't define it. Yeah, I mean, it can be defined in different ways. I think it's just like the way you identify with yourself and how you see yourself. And the bigger that ego becomes, the more you identify with things and the more you try to protect that. So if I have a big ego around being good with women, that can be actually really detrimental as well as like helpful sometimes. But if I have that big ego, now I might be worried about ever getting rejected by a girl because it crashes my identity. If I'm the guy that's really good with women, then the next girl I speak to, that could fuck me up. So then I might have AA and think I'm not going to approach fucking anyone. Whereas if I just have an ego built around, and this is where you could talk about like healthy ego, a healthy ego built around, yeah, like I do have a lot of understanding of women. I do have sexual authority. And there's going to be some girls that I resonate with, some girls that I won't. There's going to be some girls that I had a bad day. And like, I'm going to go out there and I kind of trust in my ability. Then that is like a healthy ego, I would say. Usually when people are talking about like egotistical or you got too much of an ego, is they build themselves around an idea to try to protect them. Like, I'm the best, I'm the fucking greatest. And then to prove that, they need a lot of affirmation from everyone else around them. And they're also very scared of rejection or fucking things up. So usually when we talk about ego, we're talking about that. Join the UMP. I think these guys have a lot to teach. Cheers, man. You guys are making me keen to join the Mastermind. Been on my mind for some time now. If this is just one small piece of your content, love the last vid. Oh, yeah, cheers, man. Yeah, I mean, dude, we got a 2-week free trial. So, I mean, you can just join. You don't have to think about it. I mean, aren't 10% as shallow? Aren't 10% as shallow getting late? I don't know what that means. Some girls are shallow, sure, if that's what you mean. I spoke to a female at a restaurant the other night and she gave me big IOIs and I didn't pursue it and I knew she was interested. Fuck, I don't know what's wrong with me. What do you want to say to that, Swift?
What was the IOI? I don't know. What was the IOI? What did she do? I'd be curious about that.
No. I mean, you just go speak to her.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to this. IOI, go say hi. Like even if you don't have the most perfect open, like you're on the spot, man. Sometimes it's gonna be hard. Like you're not prepared to game or something. You're walking down the street or you're at a restaurant. You get an IOI. Man, just go up and say hello. Just say something. Like it doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to train yourself when you get that big IOI. To go up and say anything at all, okay? And over time, you're gonna know what to say and what not to say. You do this enough times, but I don't know how often you're getting IOIs. Strong eye contact, leaning in, smiling. Oh shit! Oh, I spoke to a female at a restaurant the other night. Okay, she was at the register while I was ordering. Okay, so she worked there. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's her job, maybe.
It's kind of a job. Yeah, a job's to
I
give you
feel like
IOIs.
every cashier ever was giving me IOIs. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? Fuck it. If you want to like delude yourself and go, all right, look at these IOIs. Okay, treat it as such. Run a very confident game and move it forward. Number close.
Easy. All right, guys. Yeah, exactly. Good test. All right. Well, we will be back next week then with another tier list. I'm not sure which one we'll do yet. We'll have a think about it during the week. Again, if anyone's got any ideas, keep suggesting them. We've done. I think our last few have basically been suggestions from you guys. And yeah, if you guys are not in the Mastermind, just join us. 2-week free trial. There's a bunch of content in there. You get calls with us every single week. So in those 2 weeks, you can literally jump on like 12 calls over the 2 weeks. So I mean, you get access to us as well. Value builds compliance. Good luck with the Indian heritage. Good luck, Swifty. You got this. We believe in you. Okay. Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. All right. Catch you guys next time.
I've been Indian Zoom guys. Hey, if you are part of the Indian Hangout Zoom call meeting that I set up, I'm going to be like 10 minutes late. So
yeah, I'm not invited.
I'll post
so
the Mastermind about that.
racist. So. It's fucked up. Not Indian. I can't join. All right. Catch you guys next week. Take care.
All right, bye.